cable couple communications are coming. Cable couple.
I see.
There we go.
Cable couple?
Couple.
You'll find out later, I think.
All right.
I'm laughing at.
All right.
Don't worry.
Thanks
about
for your
it.
patience, all.
Can I see what you're laughing about?
You know what I'm
I don't think there's
laughing
actually.
about.
I do know what you're laughing about.
She
Soon.
knows what I'm laughing about.
Soon.
What?
Soon you will know what he's
having
laughing about.
sibling.
Yeah, imagine having a sibling that knows all of the...
I have two.
I have 2 older brothers.
These
Okay.
things happen. Sometimes we forget.
We're back!
We are back. Thank you guys for your patience.
Should be
Anything
good.
else that we didn't cover on what happened
No,
last
I
time?
think we are caught up on what happened last time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nailed it.
All
Got
right,
it.
let's go character intros, and let's start today.
Are you
well, we have to
rolling?
start with you because you've been gone for a while. So Ram.
Hi, I'm Garrett. I'll be playing Ramshackle Lodgings, who will show up at some point after the events of the night wrap up.
We shall see.
I guess that's about it.
Oh,
Who
come
next?
on, that's
Oh, come on.
weak.
Well, I mean, that's you
No.
playing.
I'm
We got
an
more.
investigator, sleuth/infiltrator, and I like to disguise myself as different people because
do.
if you go out looking like yourself, people know who you are, and that can be a problem. And really, thank you. See,
I think
this guy gets it.
I think I'll be using
This
Ram
guy's
more
got it.
often.
I agree with you.
Okay, let's go to you. Click.
Well, knock knock, bleaters.
Yes!
Click here, your resident hero of the local.
Of course, of course.
Vigilante, of course, maybe doing it a little bit against the grain, if you know what I mean. But, assisted in taking down Granger, kind of bad guy, maybe didn't want him to die, but gotta do what you gotta do. Elf, doing great, living life,
Doing great.
having fun.
He's fine.
Something like that.
Looking forward to talking to Jilly.
All right. Dahlia.
That makes 2 of us. Hi, I'm Cameron. I'm
For different
Dahlia.
reasons.
For different. Well.
Oh, okay, maybe not.
Who knows? But yeah, I'm Cameron. I play Dahlia. Dahlia is a verdant bloodline blood rager.
Huzzah.
Might have just leveled up. Who knows? I mean, it
Oh.
won't happen until we go to sleep.
That's right.
Right.
Maybe soon.
Maybe so.
But yeah, Dahlia's doing great. Just got a dagger back that she had been looking for a hot
God.
minute. Maybe no journal though, which could be more trouble later.
Nah.
Could be.
Oh well, it's
It's fine.
Dahlia got her dagger back.
fine. Woo!
All right, let's go
Big
to
W.
Daisy Bell.
Howdy, y'all.
Yeah.
Well, just another day in Aihrde and just,
It really is, isn't it?
you know, fighting for justice.
I forgot about it.
You know,
Truth.
just
Love.
everywhere.
And the Airdian way.
Spreading, you know, just as Cam said, spreading love by helping those who can't help themselves. And
Love stabs, you
A lot
know?
of interesting claims.
Love
about your character.
stabs.
You guys should go watch the other sessions and validate
Who's
these
gonna
things.
counterclaim?
but they're all true. I am
I will.
helping those who can't help themselves. I'm
By killing
defending justice. I do love people who love.
You.
You.
And not really much anyone else.
So, and I have great hair. So
Yes,
Does have
dang
great.
true.
She has a
there you
reputation
go.
for being
I'm
pretty.
a level 2 ninja, and I do love my nightshade there.
For now, you don't
For
have any
now.
anymore.
I have
One
one
dose.
left.
One
But I
dose.
have ways of getting more, hopefully. I do.
Being mean to.
Other than stealing from Fauna.
Mila.
Please don't steal from Fauna.
Wow, hey, I didn't see you there. I'm Rachel. I play Mila. Mila's a little bit of a book nerd. She's a little bit of a lover, not a fighter. She is an Amdura, about to be level 3 crazy. She has a little man named Finley. She's her familiar. They are inextricably bound in ways that you don't even know yet. It's fun.
Wow.
Yeah, she's human.
Nah.
She's an Azamar. Glowy eyes, little bit of a white streak in her hair. Who knows what that's about? We definitely haven't talked about it. That's it.
And next week, cosplay.
Oh,
Yes!
yeah?
Yeah.
I've
Next
been
week,
waiting.
The
I'm willing.
golden eyes come back. All
I've been
the.
waiting. I did find them. They fell out of my car.
Okay.
where-
and I expect we'll probably. I'll
was
be
under my
surprised
car
if we
seat.
get through this today. So
That's why I couldn't
expect
find
we'll
them
need
for
you back
Box
next week.
Con.
I have had thoughts about what I would dress as if I were to be Ram. So
I have had
You can order a
No,
Sherlock Holmes
you literally
cover.
drag a trunk in.
Okay.
True.
All right. Let's play our intro
Getting
video.
changed every time.
Let's play our intro video, and then we will begin the game immediately after the intro. As a result, let me remind you, there is no Tears, there is no Greyhawk Awakening Book 3 Sea of Dark Sun on Tuesday night because of the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
We will be back Wednesday, where we talk about disarming the cool rule trap. Because I do believe in the rule of cool. I believe the rule of cool can fall the way of Monty Hall. And so we will be talking about that on Wednesday night for Lore Masters Arcanum, and we hope to see you there with us. But reminder again, no Tuesday night stream. Lots of other fun stuff coming up on Blue Box.
We'll get
And here we go.
Yeah, how can there be a
Go
dark
watch the sky.
Or enjoy a nice hot
How
dog.
could there be a dark skin when
We
it's so
have plenty
lit
of
up?
fireworks.
Kind of
Eat
light.
some hot dogs with your friends.
That's what we're doing.
So many
That's the one thing we do on 4th of July.
So many. The Kraken.
Not about. Just enjoy.
I'm so enjoying it. It's so
Am
cool.
I
Let
ready?
me know
Am
how
I
it
ready?
goes.
Big session. Big session.
Big
What do you
session.
Here we go.
What do you
Big whammy. No whammies.
What do you mean big
Big
session?
whammy.
Big whammies.
All whammies.
All whammies. Only whammies.
Am I the only one that's like really cold and also sweating all at the same time?
All the time.
Is it cold or warm in here? I feel like it's
fine.
No,
gonna be.
it's like fine. It's like the cold sweat, you know?
Gotcha.
It'll be fine.
It's a cold sweat. Are you okay with
Do you have a fever?
She's got too much energy. You're
I'm
in cold
dying.
sweats. What were you guys doing last night?
Who knows?
This is
Hey,
just-
you never tell.
Playing Tears of the Kingdom. That's all I was doing.
Thank you
I
to
was
all the
playing Elder
first-time
Scrolls
chatters.
Online, so
We are playing in
playing Elder
the
Scrolls Online?
Troll Lord Games World of Aihrde.
I've tried to play that game so many times. I cannot get into it. It's so slow.
Mila ran from her traumatic childhood.
so slow.
to
You have to play with
become a
someone.
warrior of faith
I'm playing with
and
my
light and
friend.
Mother God Finley.
yeah. Mother God Finley.
Click was an orphan in the slums of Altamira and became a tortured vigilante and man of the people.
Somebody said no audio on trailer.
Huzzah.
Oh, there it is.
Got it.
I don't know.
Cold sweat.
Missed it.
I promise I'm
Amanda
not
said
actually
that.
in a cold sweat.
We're good. That might have just been on there.
Dahlia mothered by a creature of darkness, now a verdant blood ranger, daughter of Fae and
Ranger?
forest.
I'm doing emotionally really well.
Yeah?
Things are going great.
I touched a deck.
Yes,
and it made me
midsummer
remember
cold
everything
sweat.
bad that's ever happened to me.
Oh,
Daisy
boy.
Bell,
These
daughter
little
of
things
slaughtered
maybe I should
privilege.
touch
One of my favorite turns of phrase. Now ninja of Nightshade, bent on vengeance and reformation.
Nobody's allowed to touch it except me anymore.
And you're not even really allowed to
I
touch it.
shouldn't touch
Next
it.
time you guys get a guest character, I
tears
think you need a
have fallen.
therapist, to be honest.
Yeah.
But weeping has only begun.
If Dahlia dies, I just come back as Cameron. Just like, I'm in a master's program. I'm not licensed yet, so.
But I know a lot. I've done a lot of work with people.
A lot of work on myself.
True. Amen.
So, David, how did that make you feel?
Bad.
He's become
This scene, David, has been turned into a goat.
Pat, get on it, quick.
Context clues.
All right, we're almost done with the intro.
We talked through all of it.
We did.
It
Sorry,
always
everyone.
happens.
It
We
always
either say nothing during the whole intro and we're like,
Forever.
art. Or we're like, dip, 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 dip.
Interesting.
In character.
You stand in the docks. The Unkwood River lazily flows by. The scents and smells of Altamira surround you even as the cold and bitter wind blows over frozen snows upon the ground. But the warmth of a familiar form stands before you. Now that Jilly is a bit closer, you can see her garments are not actually black. They are the deepest shade of crimson, the slightest homage to the red dress she once wore. There is still the vestige of youth you see in her face, but those angles, as I described last time, are harder planed. Her red gold hair blows slightly in the breeze as she looks at Click and says, "I've come to warn you."
Of?
She pauses a moment. Her eyes scan over the party. And she does a slight hitch as she looks at Daisy Bell. None have surprised me more. This
As
I
it
did
should
not
be.
see.
Many more to come.
You have grown interesting. Her eyes flicker toward Finley.
I've like moved my hand over him. Don't look at my son
Don't talk to me or my son.
ever again.
You
Is he here with us?
No.
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 are not here.
They're like, there's a dead guy.
Her eyes glaze over Click.
Of course.
They rest on Dahlia a moment.
When he sees that, he kind of gets mildly dejected.
I stand up a little taller.
As she looks at Dahlia, you've grown up, kid.
I try.
Impressive.
Thanks.
I did not see that from you. You were impulsive and kind-hearted, but
Why don't you cut to the case, Jay? Cut to the chase.
Little tongue tie?
He elbows you.
I elbowed you back very hard.
Click. You need to leave.
What?
You, all of you. Well, perhaps not all.
No, you're going to have to explain that.
Why are you here, Click?
In Altamira,
What do you think your purpose is? From the beginning, what has been your purpose? Why did you come to Gluttonous, or shall we call him Gluttonous? Why? Why?
I'm
Why
glad
have
we're
you-
allowed to talk about him on the same page now.
Perhaps. Why, as others left, did you remain? You fancy yourself a hero of the people?
I am. What has he done for any of them in the low quarter but trap them underneath, steal jewels from them? 50% cut!
No. On this we do agree. That's why I'm not with him.
Good.
But you, in being helpful. You think of yourself as helpful, don't you, Click?
I am helpful.
Actually, he has a pretty good record of being so.
Are you sure?
Just from hearsay.
What is your insinuation?
I make none. I state facts.
Then state them.
Were you helpful when you brought Dahlia and Mila and Duke before Gluttonous? In your desire to be seen, in your ego's hope of recognition by the thieves, you brought your friends to the maw of the most depraved man in Altamira. Though he never laid hands on me, his gluttony was repulsive and his eyes ogled relentlessly, and he is a horrible creature, which you brought these to. Were you helpful?
Julie, I will have you silenced.
I'm sure you would. Were you helpful when you led Marcus to slaughter?
You do not speak of him.
Julie,
I visited his grave while you were gone for 7 years.
and I dug it. You brought them there that night, did you not?
What slew Marcus, I did not bring.
I do not care about that.
You brought. Were you helpful when you watched Gretchen waste away? When you left Griswold, brought Juan Carlos into the Low Quarter, when your actions ticked off a guild war between the thieves and have led to the slaughter of countless, were you helpful?
My actions. You're the rat that called the thieves in on us. Are you not?
I am not here for pretense.
Then I cannot speak
I
for the
brought
actions
thieves
of the other man.
to deal with Gluttonous. The slaughter that unfolded was something altogether different.
You killed Salmon. You killed countless people who thought they were on your side. Friends!
I did not kill Simon.
I strongly suggest you do some self-reflection before pointing the finger.
What is your purpose in standing here before me, bringing this to my attention? I understand things have got a little hot.
No, you don't. Mila, you're a kind child. Your altruism is noble and deadly. I am here, Click, because you will not be very much longer if you don't flee. What you call heat is a cauldron beyond your reckoning.
Are you gonna keep speaking in riddles, or are you just gonna spell it out for us? Because it sounds like you have something you want to tell us, and I'm sure that all of us would love to actually hear about it.
And can I use like perception to see if she came with people, if there's anyone watching, if she has like weapons on her? Does she look like she came armed, or is she just kind of walking up like
So as
no
you look,
worries?
As you look at her, I mean, you can see there are clearly blades covered beneath her cloaks. You know, she's armed, but you don't see anyone moving around behind her. She sighs a moment. I understand your anger. I
Do not.
Let me rephrase. You have the right to be angry. What happened that night was not my intent. And yet, it was set in motion by your actions. You, Click, are a scourge on this city. You have embroiled yourself in a... There was, at one time, Lord Drarius the Deposed saw you as one who might be helpful.
You don't think I wanted to join the thieves?
I know you did.
You have no...
He sees you now only as a liability. There is no desire for Click among the thieves,
And I have no desire to
nor
join
among
his-
the Gogs. And the
Good.
very people you speak of. Do you know 3 dock workers slept beneath that warehouse that burned down? Everywhere you go, Click. What you guise as noble aid to the people is covered in blood. What I speak is that there is a great war coming. You have brought notice not just upon yourself. You will hear it upon the lips of the crier in the morn. Juan Carlos is cracking down. Daba was a useful rube,
And he lives yet.
and he is compromised. And blood shed in these streets.
I didn't want that. There was never to be bloodshed.
Mila's gonna place a hand on your shoulder. Just to stabilize. Kind of show that he is not alone.
The road to the abyss is paved with good intentions. I will... She kind of lifts her hands. She noticed Mila looking for weapons. She lifts her hand. She's taking a couple of steps back. There is no physical confrontation happening here. You are too true-hearted and kind to be among our ranks. You, too quixotic and ephemeral. You...
What on earth were those words? Wait, do I have that?
You just wait.
Talk to Randall too much.
Yeah. You just
Or gladness.
Yeah.
or all of my
Could you
NPCs.
please explain yourself? I do not understand what you just said, Jilly.
You are a
Oh,
creature.
I said I do not understand what you said. Could you please speak more clearly?
You're more trouble than you're worth.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But I do understand where you're coming from.
She arches a brow. How so?
Well, I didn't like Gladimus either, and if people cannot defend themselves properly, then that is on them, correctly?
Truer words were never spoken.
I go to walk by her, and as I go walk by her, do you know where my box is?
I hope she doesn't.
The old fool probably still has it. In his own way, he holds to certain codes. I was there when he made the promise, and I was a fool for not realizing he counted, didn't he? The Beauregard children. I didn't see it. Now I do. The last remaining daughter.
And I
I
want
wish you
that
would.
box.
I can't help you there. Speak to him if you wish.
Ugh.
Why do you come telling us this? You come alone. I assume against orders that were given. If we are wanted dead. Why?
You see, like, there's the first sort of break in her mask when you ask this. Her eyes dart off toward the docks, and there is just the slightest mist that forms. I still have a fondness for the children I once met. I fear if you stay the next time I see you, it will be as your bodies are dragged from the gutters and the canals. And to pierce the folly of one who outstrips his ability with his self-perception, and to offer the one useful member for my purposes in this party. The guild always needs muscle.
You will not poison her with your ilk.
I make no poison. I simply make an offer.
I appreciate the offer, but I'll decline it. I don't take kindly to people that have cared for me being talked down to. I understand it might be truthful, but any weapon you can choose to wield carefully, and honesty is one of those weapons that you could wield with a little more care. Also, you mentioned a war. There's care for us. I'm sure that there's care for this place too. I know you have it. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. If there's a war coming, why would we sit here and allow it to happen? What can we do to help hold it back?
You speak of truth as a weapon. I think of it more as a tool. If you have an axe, you can swing it lightly at a tree to no effect. Some wood is stubborn and hard and self-absorbed.
I understand your meaning, Jilly.
If you swing that axe hard enough, it has effect. It's painful, it has its purpose.
Both and, not either or.
I fear the war comes now. Again. The one-handed fool, Lord Drarius, Juan Carlos. This city is a broil, and with more beside.
Well, which side are you on?
The thieves.
The side
But
of
who
the,
are they against?
The side of the most honest of the city, who are often seen as something other than that.
Because they are.
Who are the most honest?
Those who make
You're being baby.
no pretense about their profession, and those who also uphold the fabric of this city. Dahlia, I understand. Your loyalty is commendable. I wish you all good luck, and I hope I don't see your bodies in the canals of Altamira.
Are you happy working under another man?
I would love to sense as well.
Sense motive.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Where's my sense
You
motive?
can as well, both.
Sure. Oh, I don't think I can right now.
really
'cause my
gross?
It's
computer
really
sheet's all
good.
messed up.
It's
I actually
17
don't
plus
think I
8.
would sense motive. I think I'd just wait for her to respond.
What is that?
Okay, all right.
Not messed up. but
25.
Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just go
25.
Yeah, I don't want to.
You actually see, again, so the mask cracked a bit a moment ago. Now something else. There's a quick flash of anger. You know, it comes up through the eyes like a flash of lightning and then vanishes. I don't work under any man. I certainly don't lie under any man. I play the games that must be played, and perhaps someday you may see me on top of this game. I've spent enough time.
Can
She
I-
starts to look over her shoulder. You can see she's preparing to leave.
Can I cast Detect Good?
So you're going to concentrate a moment, okay?
I think Dahlia just kind of nods and is like, I hope that you do succeed. And I hope you remember all the corruption you had to bear witness to. And I hope that that leads to good change.
Corruption.
Men like Glottimus, men like Drarius, men like Juan Carlos, men like Click. They think they protect us, they think they help us, they think somehow they are ordained because of what dangles between their legs to be those who judge all the rest of us. I reject this. And I think another day is coming.
I have to say, I kind of agree with you, Chili.
What's your husband think about that?
That's a good question.
Very sense
My brain's breaking.
Yeah, it's like the mirror and the mirror and the mirror and the mirror. Yeah.
It's forever.
She says, perhaps we will speak again. There's danger on the streets this night. Were you helpful, though? The night you left her by herself, wandering streets you, above all, knew were dangerous. And with that,
I think as she points, like, Dahlia kind of like almost imposes herself in front of Click, and as she's walking away just goes, were you helpful when you didn't see him for 7 years?
I saw him. I wanted to help him. I thought he might join us. And then I saw him.
Julie, I have made no single assumption about how you were raised in this city, but I am certain you made best do with the tools you had at your hands. I am sorry I chose better than to betray everyone I knew. Click turns around and walks away.
Mila, with her hand on his shoulder, follows.
Yeah.
That is not
She
left.
nods, and like the zephyr of a breeze in the night, she vanishes down an alleyway. And
Click
all is
walks
quiet.
across the alleyway and punches a piece of wood as hard as he can.
I go over to Dahlia.
And he's got the cestus's on, so I can't imagine. I mean, it hurts his hand bad, but it
bang!
splinters some wood.
There's some sparks
Yeah.
that fly off, and yeah, it hurts. But there's chips of stone that come out. You feel Mila's hand on you.
Yeah.
She flinches at the punch and is going to gently grab the hand that he punched with,
It is vigorously shaking.
and she's going to sandwich it between her own and squeeze tight.
I think Dahlia kind of like watches her sort of disappear and is just like, and then walks towards Click and Mila, and I think kind of walks with Daisy.
So I go over to her. I'm like, you know, what she says isn't all wrong.
No, of course not. I just think she could be.
Well, the truth can hurt sometimes, and it can, sting like a dagger if it hits the right
You're
spot.
not wrong.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to her.
I don't
we're
think
still-
you're being quiet.
Well, she
No,
was
no,
kinda
no.
whispering,
I'm.
yeah.
All right, then
I'm-
I don't reply. I apologize.
No, it's okay. So we do know clique has a side and another side, right? So we don't know exactly what all happened. I just think we just need to be just need to be more observant. And we can use her, maybe.
I don't know. I think, yeah, there's bits that I agree with, but
Just an open
I'm
mind.
not gonna let somebody come into my home and be
No,
cruel to my
I-
family.
I get that. But what she does say is a little truthful. I mean, I wasn't a Gladimus fan. He's big and ugly, and he's got my box.
He seems like quite a bad person.
What? The things you've mentioned you don't like about him. He was big, he was ugly, and
he's
he
got
has
your
your
box.
stuff.
I think, too, I would kind of take Daisy's shoulder and I'd say, she might be one to be extra careful around. Because she knows who you are.
True.
And I
No.
don't know if she's going to be as...
Well, I didn't say I trust her fully. I think she'll stab me in the back in a heartbeat. But if she's got information we can use, I'm all for that too.
I think I'm just going to put my arm over her and I'm like, okay, all right. Come on. Let's walk away from the lady.
The burden that she brushed onto you is not yours alone.
She's not wrong.
She says that you were not helpful when we were children. You did the best you could, and it was not you that solely led us there. We each had options,
She
and we
knows.
chose to go.
She
It is
knows.
not your fault.
That is so hard to believe, Mila. But she knows nothing of what this city did to me when I was younger.
I don't know if any of us do.
The Gogs were kind. That is what they did. The Cogs taught me how to ask people for things out of the kindness of their own hearts, not to steal it from their pockets. I am the one who went out of my way to learn that skill.
What other choice were you given?
Gluttonous may have stolen half of everything I earned. But it felt good to take something and it be fully mine. I cannot lie.
When you've had nothing, that only makes sense.
Gluttonous was a dangerous man, and it was wrong of me to take you to him. She is right on that.
And how old were we? What did we know of danger?
Perhaps I cannot speak for the actions of a younger man,
I don't think she can either.
but I should be speaking for my actions now. 3 men burned in their beds.
Mila's gonna pull you into a hug. And just hold tight.
Click cries deeply.
And she will just keep holding you there.
How was I to know?
You weren't.
If you were there, I bet they would have lived. I'm so sorry you weren't.
And I'm sorry as well that I wasn't. I feel stupid looking back at it now. I'm sorry I wasn't there. And you did not know.
Perhaps she is right. Her plan to leave this city should probably continue. I don't like it. Especially knowing there is a war to come.
Well, do I hear? Have we walked over there? I could say.
Yeah, you're all
well,
within a few feet of each other. And by the way, if I could, Joe, the audio guy, mentioned the yours is okay, maybe just a touch closer to your mouth. Yours is the
I
furthest
feel
out.
like it catches my breath whenever it's closer.
He says the main thing is if it's
it's
out
above your
too
nose.
far. Yeah, if it goes, you catch more ambient room noise, which they hear on stream. So yours is
see, I
fine.
see.
Yeah, it should be sort of pointed to the seam of your mouth, but just not too terribly
Is
close.
that good where I
That's
have
good.
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you're good. You're good.
Well,
Too close?
Click.
You're good.
You're not the only one who can save this city. And I think Jilly's got a pretty good head on her shoulders, and it seems like she, she kind of holds a grudge, and she may have not been treated as well as, she may have been treated the same as you. I don't think she had a peachy life. I think she cares for this city too.
I know she does.
So you're not the only one. Don't think it's all on you.
I don't think I'm the only one that cares about this city.
Well, then
I've
pick
never
yourself up by your bootstraps and let's get going.
To leave it?
I think it will be okay.
And we will be back. It's not
Yes.
permanent.
We'll be back bigger and stronger.
Okay, and a quick OOC here because I know players can often wonder. This is not the DM
No,
pushing
please don't.
you out of
Please
Altamira.
don't believe that.
This
We
is-
already had this
is-
plan.
okay.
Yeah, we've already
Yeah.
talked about
Yeah.
this
For a minute.
before.
This is the storyline of the story. You guys can do whatever you want. So,
Yeah.
all right.
I gotta be honest with you, John, though. I think Click was the one out of all of us that needed the most encouragement.
Yep.
And I think he might have just found it. Yeah, Click takes a big, deep sigh, pushes off of Mila. Let's grab the body. And get home.
I say we just push it in the river
There's
We burn
with
it.
weights. Oh, burn it. That's probably a good. But then it'll smell. Can we burn it? Isn't the city tightly congested?
You can burn it in the sewers.
Oh, wow. What is it?
Oh, wow. Gross.
Well, there's also scary things down there that might eat it.
The one thing we don't want to do is leave it intact.
No, we do not. You're right. Burn it in the sewer.
Mila,
Yes, love.
I confess, I am both glad that you are well, and I didn't really want to nibble on his nethers. I'm so glad I was spared that indignity.
That makes me so happy to hear that it is not something that you wanted,
Trying to
because
be
truly
so
I was a bit nervous about the fact that you wanted to do it, because that was... We're on the same page.
Yes, indeed. He goes quiet again.
And thank you for your assistance earlier. You're very brave.
2 squeaks for safety.
That's cute.
So cute! Mila just like silently squeals for a moment.
Does he say the words 2 quick squeaks for safety and then doesn't do actual squeaks
Yes,
afterwards?
in her mind, but to her mind, yes.
But he doesn't squeak.
No, he doesn't squeak. He just says.
What a great guy. Love that man.
All right.
I think Dahlia will kind of
would-
like probably rip down some of the wagon and then like throw that over her shoulder and
Okay.
then sort of like wrap the body over her shoulder.
I would like some time with the body to see anything I could glean from this.
Yes.
She was in there too.
Thank you so much to Toriano. That's
Mother?
2 plus 1s for Click, and another 2 plus 1s for Daisy. No, and for Dahlia.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah,
There we
I
go.
think Dahlia would just kind of, when I struck him, it was like he had been eaten up on the inside, but even the part that I could see was bad. Even the part that was him.
I could see it in his eyes.
Did I get anything from the detect good off of Jilly? I forgot that I
yes,
did that.
yes,
I'm so
that's right, you
sorry.
did that.
I'm so sorry.
Good ass.
Yes.
Okay.
So sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Great
So
ask.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
as that final twitch of her garment went around the corner, your detection latched on just the briefest instance.
Wow, that's me.
You have sensed good in others. What you felt here was something. You had a flash of an image in your mind. There was not good, but there was like a seed that sprouts, trying to burst through the soil towards sunlight. This image flashed through your mind. If we could call it OOC, neutral with good tendencies, but you sensed this, not goodness, but a movement, a desire.
A skosh of good.
She's on a balance. Just a taste of good. She's on a.
On this neutral bread, we have good salt.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Much better than a scotch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
If you will.
What were you saying?
It's fine.
I think Dahlia would just be like, she's getting stronger.
Then perhaps it's good we're leaving.
Maybe.
I am worried that she is related to this orc problem. Or at least they might know of her.
I think Dahlia kind of like puts a hand on your shoulder. I'm worried that she could be anywhere.
Well,
And like it
She
gives
could be
you
what?
anywhere.
Oh.
Of like gives kind of a tight squeeze of like
Like if you didn't, like she's talking about her mom. If,
yes.
so that
yeah,
might have been.
sorry.
She made a quick switch there. But
Yeah.
yeah, she's talking
Yeah.
her mom. She felt the power of her mother when she touched the dagger,
And
she's-
learned
yes,
something.
Right.
we'll get into that. Maybe I'll have a dream tonight. Who knows?
well,
I was gonna say, how
restful sleep.
shaken does Dahlia look?
You would probably notice that like you know, a fight can cause somebody to sweat, but I would say Dahlia is pretty like used to that.
Pretty
Like that's her form of exercise. You would notice that like the hair that's surrounding kind of her face is like slick with sweat. And like hasn't like mentioned it and is just gonna kind of keep walking through. You know, body over shoulder, hand still extremely tightly gripping that dagger. Yeah.
I go over and talk to Dahlia. Dahlia. So, and I'm trying.
I imagine we're walking back.
Yeah.
At this
I want to
Okay.
just talk to
Towards
her
the sewers, I would
That's-
guess.
That's
and
fine.
whisper, like in soft tones, to Dahlia. I noticed was it Dauber who Granger had the dagger?
Right.
He was acting weird and had your dagger, and I know that thing is powerful. Here's my question. If it gets in the wrong hands, it can do bad things, correct?
I think you'd see me kind of like lower my shoulder a bit until his arm kind of like flops out, and you would see that like, isn't there like kind of dark black spider webbing veins like all
Yeah.
up the arm? Was that right, John?
Yes. Yeah. Up the hand,
Yeah.
through the forearm. Yeah.
And I'd kind of like just dump out an arm to the side, and I'd like jot my eyes down to it and just be like, yeah, I'd say it's pretty bad.
Well, I just think we need to be careful. I love Click and I love David, but I think, in a way, we need to be careful and not let him touch it at all.
I'm not worried about him.
Okay.
I think like you'd see like a very sly smile of like, oh yeah,
They're two different people.
well, and thinking back on conversations that like Dahlia and Click have had, where it's like, if you do something bad, I'll kill you. Like if you step out of line, I'll make sure you die. But in a friendly way.
Yeah.
And so like, with that in her mind, I think she's like, I'm not worried about it. I know I
Dagger
can
to
I
throat.
trust
I really
you.
but I
appreciate
appreciate
it.
it.
But
Now
we
you're
did-
not interested in it, are you?
Oh no.
Okay, good.
No, I got my own skills. I don't need your dagger.
But do you want it?
So,
Oh no, I don't want it.
In
I
the
got
meantime.
my own.
Yes. Go ahead.
Click goes to Mila. So that
need your
dagger's pretty cool,
dagger.
right?
I was going to
Do
say
you think you
that
get Dahlia to lend that to me for a minute?
Like a mustache. He's grown.
Snidely
Instantly
whiplash.
grew.
I was going to say that I think I know that you said that Click pulled away from the hug, but I think she is still gripping that hand if he would have allowed her.
No.
Okay.
That's
Too close for Click.
That's fair. Understandable.
Once he pushed away, he will pull his hand out of yours.
Okay.
But you will notice walking past him that occasionally it does just tap his thigh to a little beat occasionally, but it almost seems purposeful, but his hand is shaking. And he's taking advantage of that to maybe play it off like he's
Yeah, of
playing a
course.
beat on his thigh.
Okay. All right. So you are then headed back to well-equipped,
Well-equipped.
doing something with the body.
Putting the
it
body
in the
down into the nest entrance of the sewers and burning it in the sewers.
And I would like to get a more like in-depth view because when we were on the streets, that's when I first looked. But that was like on the streets. Now that we're down here, I'd like to like set up light and like
Yeah.
take a good look
I'm sorry, at what?
at his body.
At Granger.
Yes.
I see. Okay. All right. So then I'll set up that as you are walking back.
Ramp's just in the house,
You're-
just sitting there.
You're,
We drag a body back in.
There was a downstairs. I heard people down there.
it's it's a good hour, maybe almost 2 past midnight, and as your footsteps crunch through the mostly empty streets rather of Altamira, you see rats moving across the snow, leaving their footprints.
Oh,
You
that's kind of cute.
It's cute that they're leaving footprints.
Yeah, little snow footprints.
she's so easy to please.
Yeah.
I am.
As you make your way back to the rat's nest, to well-equipped, anything else that you are doing, thinking, feeling, or seeing, any of you? And no, Ram is not there yet, so you are not seeing them.
I'm not doing thinking, feeling, or seeing anything.
You don't exist yet.
You've
don't
never
exist
seen
yet.
I'm
anything in your whole
asleep right
life.
now in my hammock in my office.
Exactly.
You're not thinking.
I tried to make it back without leaving a footprint, so I'm going across the buildings.
Oh, okay. And so,
Gonna roll for it?
Nope, don't.
don't make me roll for it.
You gonna roll for it?
I just do it.
I will say, on the way, Click will gather his crossbow back from. Oh wait, he has it anyways because
Yeah.
it fell off
Yeah,
of the roof.
yeah.
Yeah,
Never
you
mind.
got it. Don't worry.
Mila will kind of lean into Click and say, "When we get back, I'd like to show you something if you feel up for it."
What?
Well, if I tell you, then you won't be curious enough to say yes.
Gods, you're difficult to deal with. Sure.
Okay.
Where do you need me?
Just give me a minute with the body, and then I'll show you.
Okay.
So, are you when you get there? Is your intent, Mila, to go downstairs in the nest by yourself, or
I'll be down there with her with the
okay?
body.
All right. So, is everyone going down, or are you leaving?
Should I come down?
Yeah,
would you
that's
stop?
what I'm.
You don't have to. You don't have to. This is me going down with the body is just solely for the body.
Click gets to the nice reclining leather chair that he has and just flops into it with all of his weight and leans fully back and sighs so loud and so deep and so long.
Okay.
And just sits there.
Daisy Bell, as you guys get back to well-equipped, what are you doing? Are you also going down to the cellar with them, or are you staying upstairs?
Oh no, I'm going down in the cellar to burn this body.
Dahlia thinks about making a joke as Click is laying in his chair that he owns of, don't get too comfortable, that's my bed, but then she doesn't because that would be me. So she lets a sleeping dog lie.
A sleeping dog, you say?
Yeah.
All right. As you enter the
That guy's a
familiar
tramp.
and comfortable confines of well-equipped,
Actually,
that ever-present fire still burns.
It's always
the
there.
candles just
a
amazing.
miracle
This
that
guy's
well-equipped
candle bill is out.
Candle fill.
You need to get me in contact with who you buy your candles from.
You're great.
They're so good.
They last forever.
So Mila, Dahlia, and Daisy Bell. All
Girls'
head-
night.
There's a
Burning a
girl-
Just girls being.
Let me write that down.
let's burn this boy. Yeah.
First, we're gonna do our nails.
Okay.
Then we're gonna
And we're gonna burn a dead body.
Okay, this has to be clipped and put on TikTok. Girls' night, burning a body. That is so good. All right.
Yes, queen. Slay.
Oh my god.
Already slayed.
Oh my god.
Okay.
We're messed up.
Please.
We're good people. table. We're the
chaos.
good guys.
Yeah, we're good.
Rein it in.
All right, so
It's when
two,
Garrett comes to the table.
two things in the chat. One, yes, thank you for the hype train. We had a hype train a moment ago. I didn't
gosh,
recognize it, but thank
yay.
you so much. There were several bits that were given. Toriano,
Males actually
Tracy, and Tracy. Oh, Tracy with an E, Tracy without an E. Thank you all both. But then also the Ram does talk, but Ram is not with the party yet. Ram is in another
He's
part of the
shy.
city. And by the way, I did tell Ram's player Garrett that he would be an ornament for the first part of the session.
Yes.
I was
So,
expecting this.
Yeah, he's not
He's just
surprised.
really happy to
He's
be
here
here.
at
I am
Andy,
happy
so
to be
enjoy
here.
it.
Just
I'll
sitting in
say
the
as many times as
ambience
you
of
like.
this
I'm happy to be
previously
here.
august
Garrett
group,
is also a fan of the show.
Yeah,
He's
that's
here
true, yeah.
every
Watch all
stream.
of them. I just get to watch from at the table this week. It's a
Yeah.
special thing they're doing for me personally.
You want to give away
front row seat. You're in the orchestra pit, my friend.
It's like, oh god.
Okay.
They're all around me. I'm so scared.
All right. So you all make your, hey, thank you, Chris. You all make your way down a bit of a macabre scene as you dangle the bleeding body of Granger. And yes, you smell something emanate. It is not the sweet scent of death. It is something more vile, more pustulant, that just seems to emanate off of his body. And occasionally you hear and one of those vessels pops, and black bleeds out onto your garments. Yes.
From my distant childhood memories of the smell of undeath, is it any bit reminiscent of that to me, or
Yeah,
is
sorry.
it?
So that's what it is not that. It is
Oh,
not
okay,
that
great.
sickly sweet scent of death or undeath.
Great.
It is
Something new.
Something different. Yes.
We hate that.
I think I.
Okay, hold on. Roll knowledge nature.
Okay. Oh god.
Think
Oh
about
god.
taxidermy and think about how
We've done taxidermy. You know that well.
Wait. Hold
They're
on.
called stuffers.
Please don't
by the
remind
way.
me.
They're called stuffers, not taxidermists. But yes,
Okay, all right.
of course.
I gotta do some stuff.
which I realized.
So when I said
after
taxidermy, and then
yeah,
probably not.
Yeah.
well, yeah, exactly. You were right, and I went with taxidermy. And I looked it up
Taxidermy
later,
is
like
too
they
cultured
were
a
called
word for what
stuffers.
they're doing.
Exactly. Yes.
It sounds too professional.
That's a.
Oh, wow.
That would be a natural one.
A natural
yeah.
one.
So I don't think I know anything about this.
Well, you know that's
would
not
say.
how I do things.
You might actually know the
This
inverse
is what
of
you
that.
know.
You know some things for sure.
Yes. This.
Some things I know completely.
This smells to you.
You are going to jail
like-
and prison.
This smells to
jail.
you like the cloying scent of undeath.
Okay. I think I kind of like. But it did smell different than the undeath of like
yeah,
the Tom
but
Sorrow kind
probably
of thing.
related in some
Okay.
way. You're thinking.
I think I just try to remember it. Of like,
Okay.
if I smell this on the breeze again, I'll know that it's
That you can do.
mother adjacent.
Okay. Yes.
That was the main reason why I wanted to.
I
Of
like
like,
that.
if I can memorize this,
Looking to start up a perfume line.
yeah, mother adjacent.
Mother
yeah.
adjacent. I like it.
But
Alright,
I
so-
think Dolly
okay.
is like almost meditative in that of like a deep breath in, even though it's unpleasant, of like trying to will herself to understand.
Gotcha. All right.
Mila takes off the gloves, tucks them into her belt, and pulls out a different pair that look way more mangy. And she's had these for a while. There's definitely dried blood on them. We don't gotta talk about what's on them.
I look at them and I think I just go, oh,
Operating
Work gloves.
work gloves. Work
And-
gloves. I look at Daisy.
Yes.
Look at that. You've grown up.
And first, I want to take a look at the veins, see anything that I can gather from them, especially the parts that have popped
Okay.
and are showing that substance. And even if I possibly could, without touching it, get it within a vial.
Oh, sure. Okay. So let's start off with a. Let's do
That's what I took it to.
knowledge planar.
What? I actually have that.
No.
So
Purpose
this is
and
John, I don't like that.
18.
18. That's total.
That's total. I rolled a 12 plus 6.
As you examine it, the only thing that you can determine is, and obviously don't meta what the DM just said, but
Yes.
well, as you look at it, you don't. This is not natural. It's also not undeath. If you were to describe it the best way, which Dahlia would have detected had she not rolled a nat 1, is this is not undeath, it is unnatural. It is beyond nature, whether you want to call that metaphysical, it is something beyond this realm. And then now I'm going to have you make a, let's do a heal check.
Okay.
As you're going to try to scrape some of this into a vial. And it's not really whether you can get it, it's how much you can extract, and do you get any on your skin?
Guidance.
What's that?
Guidance.
Okay, all right.
Come on.
Thank you very much,
21.
Amanda. I'm sure Ashlyn will rock that on TikTok.
21.
The girls' night out. Yeah, what? 21? Okay. You get what you would consider to be a solid dose, enough to fit into
Of his-
a candle
Of
snuff.
the,
his icky
of
stuff?
the, of the icky
Yes.
stuff. What do I write that down in my
His
inventory as?
You know, you can call it
Dude.
Dude Icker.
Dude, Icker.
Dude, Icor. Yeah.
His
Icky stuff.
Granger's Icker? I don't know.
Of his icky stuff.
A whole vial.
A whole vial?
This is like Markov all over again.
Yeah, right? You're totally right.
Okay, so
Okay.
you scrape some into the vial. You
I thought you were handing that to me.
No. Yeah, here's my character sheet just for you. That's for you.
you see as you're doing this, it's not inside your vial, but there is the tiniest. To call it a worm would be wrong.
Oh no.
It is so much smaller. It has the
no,
head
it's-
shaped like a spade
Is it a parasite?
that just gently sort of worms out of a ruptured vein
Oh.
and then sucks back in. You see the tail wriggle as it goes back up inside.
Well.
By
Mila
spade, do
instantly
you mean-
stands and takes a
I
step
mean,
back.
I said the head was shaped like a
Head
shovel,
shaped
like a spade. Yeah.
What's going on?
What?
What was that? What's
You
the
didn't
matter?
see it.
No, I
Oh,
know.
oh,
What's
yeah.
the matter?
Yeah, but she's jumped back.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Do not touch it.
Well, what is it?
I don't know.
What'd you see?
You mean the man you've been carrying for
It was
I put blanket on
small
first.
and
It's a parasite.
we need
It's fine.
we need to burn it. We need
Yes.
to burn this now.
Okay.
I think Dahlia kind of thinks back to memories of people's passing within the Twilight Woods and kind of the pyre-like structures that they
Right.
would make for people of like, you know,
Why is it always worse?
just a crazy satyr dying in like a battle and like just kind of this like raucous warrior's funeral, and I think kind of pairs that down. So like
dare you call that to me?
her goal is not like, oh, we're just gonna dump, you know,
Right.
oil on this guy, light him ablaze, and this is a thorough burning. And so I think she sets up like a wood basin underneath and is like loading it with kindling from upstairs. And
Okay,
then
yeah.
kind of
So you can,
places
so
the body
you,
at top.
yeah. We don't need to. So you can definitely take that time. You pull some wood from upstairs. You pull some bits of, paper and things that can help you as kindling.
Yeah.
And anything else you're doing as Dahlia helps you prepare the blaze,
Praying.
right?
Yeah, a lot of that I bet.
As Dahlia, go ahead and roll survival. Let's just see how good a fire this is.
Okay.
Guidance.
And
Is that allowed?
What's that? Yes, absolutely.
Plus one.
Is it where?
Survival would be with the.
Is it?
Daisy
the
Bell, are you
bother.
doing
Plus
anything as
one.
you're watching this?
Okay.
Well, wouldn't I be helping?
You want
Yeah.
to gather wood and help?
Yeah,
okay,
I'm helping.
It's a 10.
A 10.
Oh,
okay.
and guidance
one.
plus one,
Okay,
so an
all right.
11.
All right. In moments,
It's a fire.
there is a
to
good,
start a fire.
healthy
Whoa!
fire that's roaring.
Blaze on!
As the body is being consumed by flame, there is that scent. It hits the three of you, and you do have this brief wonder about the natural gases that are inside of a sewer, which we'll make a roll on in a second. But as the
You
body.
told us people burn bodies in here.
I didn't say people burn bodies in here. I just said it wasn't like I have 8 wisdom. What do you want from me. Good decision?
It could be fine. It could be.
It's probably fine. You're not even actually technically in the sewer.
Yeah, you're at the edge of the sewer. It just depends.
There's a blanket.
How much of that methane has made its way, here or hasn't.
We're gonna die.
We're gonna blow up your store, and then we'll have to.
Well, how many gases are in here? Maybe there's methane from all the sewer stuff.
that's what-
Are we gonna blow ourselves
That's
up?
what he's saying.
Welcome to the game. I just spent 30
We don't need to
seconds
have to
describing
fake Flick's death if it's real.
You don't even have to level up.
Exactly.
We can go sleep at
I'll
Gretchen's
actually
house.
be the only character that lives through this.
It's fine.
Tears of Aihrde, the ramshackle lodging story. As the fire ticks off and begins burning, you do feel a sucking of air. I would like to know what Mila is praying.
As the flames are starting to engulf the body, flame burials are not something that she it's something that she has had practice with, and I think as the flames start to cover the body, it isn't a feeling of fear or hurt by someone else having died. It is almost a relief of knowing that he is going somewhere where this cannot reach him. And as she's thinking that, holding her necklace, what this was unnatural. And I know you are against anything as such. He, I believe, did not know what it was he was signing himself up for with this. Please guide him, as you guide all, to rest.
As you're praying, you feel that gentle peace. There's a warmth that comes. You feel the whiskers of Finley tickling gently against your ear as
Don't breathe in.
He seems to enjoy it when you pray. Every time you pray, there's a sense of resonance with him in some way.
Aw.
Though you can tell he cannot touch the divine. He feels your touch of the divine, and he always longs for that. As he rides the coattails of your prayer, and you feel the tickle of his whiskers, there is also that something that you're quite accustomed to, having gone through ceremonies like this, Dahlia. It is a bit disconcerting how aromatic a burning human body can smell. Like a barbecue. There can even be, if you're hungry enough, a pang when you smell that flesh roasting. But
Yummy.
but there is, and then even with that knowledge, there is a self. You don't like it. It's just natural.
I think
but then go ahead.
as she's kind of like watching the flame and thinking back to those warriors' funerals that had happened throughout that time, she kind of grips the dagger a little bit and kind of looking down, just kind of losing herself in the flame for a minute. Just there's this subtle smirk, and she thinks, one less for you, and doesn't want to cast out that thought because she knows that if she were to, that means that she's opening it up for more dialogue, and she doesn't really want to talk, but it's just sorry.
Send a text on silent.
Yeah. But is
That is so inappropriate.
Yes. I know exactly what you're thinking.
He just gave 1,000 bits to trigger the auto Mila dancing.
You did get 5+1.
Yeah, you got 5.
Thank you, but oh my gosh.
And I do need to do my flex that I wrote the script and worked with LA to make this happen. That is so freaking cool every time
Nice
it
work.
works. There's so that's a great. And as you're doing this though, there is also something you're not used to. There is an occasional, almost like a piece of wood that has gas trapped in it. There's a squealing, and you see small, tiny little embers of flame that seem to wriggle on the ground and then up in smoke
Okay, they're dying.
coming off the body.
I'll be watching perimeter. If I see if it seems creature-like that's coming out,
What?
I'm going to watch the perimeter and just stomp out anyone that's still moving. If there are any that are still moving.
Okay, yeah, they so
No little freaks.
yeah, guys,
Get them out of here.
what are you guys doing here, Tracy? We got
Oh no!
That's me. Stop it out, bugs. Stop it out, bugs. Stopping.
Sometimes you just have to dance on a burning body.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
You know?
Girls' night.
Girls' night.
All of a sudden, I'm feeling famished.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you guys are trolling with. There's bit trolling happening
I
right
think
now.
Dahlia kind of like turns back and she's like, "You said the quiet part loud."
That's funny.
Can't recognize like. Normally people don't say that,
That's funny.
but it's just like
I always speak my truth.
I know. Boy, do I know
That's a fact.
God, can we get that on a T-shirt?
I always my
You can only wear that shirt.
Yeah.
Finley, you feel first a wash of hunger, but then it is like tamped down, and the sentience that comes over the top is, how vulgar of them. Like he tried to hide what came first with that, and then you see he nestles up against your neck and it's very quiet. Yeah.
We'll get food soon.
In moments, the husk of the body burns to bits of charcoal, smoke wafting off. Oh, I did forget to make my roll. Yes.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. You don't have it. You don't got it.
There are ample explosive gases. This
No,
is
there's not.
Ample is quite the word.
Yeah, well,
for
okay.
the
You're,
end of a service.
whoops.
How many parts per minute?
Can I
Should I
use?
roll? Let me roll off.
No.
I should roll off mine. Yes.
Could I use?
Can you burn a body in a sewer? Actually, I don't want to put that much
Oh, no, you don't want that in your history.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I don't like that.
No one out there should be Googling, can you safely burn a body in a sewer? Please don't.
That's the thing about exactly. That's the
D&D.
thing
Yeah.
about being a DM is sometimes you have to look up some things you'd rather.
You have to Google, can you cut a man in half with a great sword?
Can the sword really go through a neck in one swing?
The
We
answer
are
would
on the
surprise you.
FBI watch list.
Turns out it can go through more than one neck.
Yes. I did bring this to on myself. All right. So actually, fortunately you are far enough from the main sewage. That's
Great.
a friendly
We gotta
die
find a
roll.
better place to burn.
I knew what I was doing when I did this
Yeah,
place.
of course.
That's something you need
Click
to do.
from upstairs. You do smell the smoke, bits of gray smoke waft up through the door, and you can smell this.
Click will take, because he has, fixed the things that were less good when he was a kid. That mask that he wears, the handkerchief, has a hard leather case under it to protect his face.
Okay.
And a piece of metal over the nose that he pitches to close his nostrils.
Ooh, that's
Clever
fun.
Very
boy.
nice, because he goes in the sewers.
Because he's a stink man.
He's a sneaky boy.
Yeah!
That's how we would describe him.
I don't think.
God,
that's
but man, he's
Don't
stinky.
smell good.
I mean, it's not what I had in mind, but you're not wrong.
Okay.
It's like super debonair, very hot guy, just who kind of smells a little bad.
Once,
No,
I believe it was
you actually
the-
told us that he does smell good.
He does smell
once
good.
we're sure that
Canonically,
like the
we do have
fire
smells.
has
Although I
taken
do
run its
believe,
course
when
and
David walked
is
in,
not
when Ram was
spreading,
well equipped, I did catch a whiff of sewer on you.
and everything is burned.
And we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen.
Okay. So yeah. So go ahead.
I typically bury what's left, like
Sure,
the
that's
ashes and such.
Guys, just
We
in
could
the
just
sewer, that's
throw it
normal.
into the sewer. Can't we?
You can also just, and I think Dahlia kind of like thinks for a second and is like, I know if I step on one of those bones, it'll just crumble. But it's like, that seems inappropriate. But it's like, we can make more ash if we need to. I would rather her not have anything. Maybe that's greedy, but.
I think that's wise.
And I think I like hold my boot up over like a hand bone and just kind of press down.
Snap. The ceremonial snapping of hand bones. Okay. All right. So it is now we're getting 2 to 3 hours past midnight.
Oh,
Tired.
I guess
do
I
you-
can't go to the salty dough.
What do you
At this hour? No, I didn't know it was that late.
so what are you all doing?
Click is still sitting in
Yeah.
his chair.
Once
Bed.
all is finished and we are upstairs, Mila will head over to Click and unattach the large, thick journal to her waist. She's gonna flip.
All right, so as she's doing this, I'm assuming Daisy Bell and Dahlia are elsewhere.
I think Dahlia's probably gonna stay in the hammock because I think
Okay.
she kind of saw like Click posted up in the chair, and so she's like, I can stay down here, it's no problem. And I think like kind of like just sits in the hammock like a chair,
Okay.
like in the middle of it, and just kind of stares at that hallway for a while, just making sure that all movement is gone, and
Okay.
just watching everything go to like complete and utter cinders.
As you do this, you rest back, and there is a weariness that comes on you. Even though healed, the fighting, the healing, it
I'm
drains.
exhausted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The weariness is probably beyond anything you faced to this
Yeah.
point. It is so heavy upon you, and you can feel, even as you look down at your body, you see wounds that are healed, but there's still a shadow of pain that lies beneath. And also, for some reason, when you close your eyes, this has happened to you now several times in the last couple of days. When you close your eyes, you see an arc of crimson splashes afresh and anew against your eyelids.
Yeah, I think she doesn't like. It's those. If you've ever been, this is an anachronism, but I feel like it makes
okay.
sense for the vibe. If you've ever really been trying to stay awake at night while driving, which you shouldn't, get your sleep.
But if
But
you
like
have
when
done
you
it-
open your eyes real wide to try to stop yourself from blinking as much as you can, of just like, okay,
Right.
and then just like a long hold, and then like almost like flinching before the blink of like kind of being ready for it, and it's like, guess I'll just do this until I fall asleep. And it's just like, I think, is thinking back to that reoccurring dream that she normally has with her mother's head in the fire, and it's like, oh great, a new one. At least I think almost finds a weird comfort in like, at least it's something different. And like, I think slowly shifts from like seated to like more posted up, and then just slowly drifts off to bed. And doesn't listen in on a conversation for once.
Daisy Bell, are you trying to listen
Yeah,
in, or
tired,
are
not
you...
growth.
Oh no, I go get something to eat. I find something because I'm
Okay.
very hungry. And then I go up to meditate.
Okay.
David would keep a very small larder at best of just
Yeah, you
easy
managed
foods to eat in the
And
morning.
you've got some rations of your own, so...
Click is nodding off, nearly asleep when you show up. It's been a couple of hours since you guys did your thing, and he's just loudly breathing through his mouth because his nose is shut right now. He's
I'm gonna just kind of pull down the mask.
oh yes. What's up?
And she will hand you the journal flipped to a page. I read this sometimes for comfort, but I thought perhaps you might need it more than me today.
Are you giving me this for the night?
No.
Good. We talked about trust before. Wow, Rachel, this is a lot to read.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna take some time and read this, John, but that's
absolutely.
what Click's gonna do.
I can also give a bit of a...
If you want to, the people, but I'm definitely gonna read the whole thing.
It is, I believe, year 2032
Good job.
that she flipped to.
Great.
That was 2 years ago.
Great year.
Great year.
For the people wanting to know.
And it is an entry, a journal entry of which she and her scouting unit within the brothers had gone to help another town. And during that, many were injured, but one had died needlessly, she felt, and had blamed herself for not being diligent enough to see what should have been done. and Roy, her sponsor, gave her a very important message that she often finds herself forgetting and needing a reminder of. And she felt that in this moment that Click may have needed that reminder more than she did.
Yeah, that's a lot to read, so it's gonna take me a half.
Yeah, you're good. But while he's reading, she's gonna get food for herself and Finley. And if he wants some, of course, it's his food. I'll give him some too.
Not wrong. He won't eat. But he will read it and then eventually hand it back to you and nod off and go to sleep in that chair.
And she'll go to sleep herself.
Okay. As each of you drifts off to slumber, the number of scenes of violence, of pain, of suffering, of human depravity that you have been exposed to throughout your lives, but even just in the past 72 hours, it's difficult to express how it affects your psyche. Each of you in your own turn manages it in your own way, but your dreams, they are riddled with scenes, some of which are real, some of which are abstract, some of which seem to make no sense and yet carry with them the portent of suffering. Your sleep is fitful, even in your weary state. It is a difficult night. It is broken.
Oh, no.
At dawn, with a friendly knock.
Oh,
At the
goodness!
door, well equipped.
Do the knock, do the knock.
Yeah, let's hear the knock.
Yeah, all right.
And,
The shop!
and with that, we will go to our one and only break. So, great
Jolts awake
job,
from
everybody.
his
A
sleep.
chance for everyone to get some coffee, use the restroom.
Level up? Do we level
Yeah,
up?
we'll
Roll
level
HP
up
when we
when
come back.
No, we'll do that when we come back. We'll do that on camera
my
when we come back. And we want to say thank you to everybody. Thanks for all the bits and subs and the hype train and the dancing characters that we, even though it was so inappropriate.
Very morbid.
That was a horrible funeral, and you had them dancing. But
come
that
on.
is-
He was a horrible person.
Yeah, he was.
He deserved a good dance on his body.
It's that idea of like, I'll dance at your wedding. It's like, I'll dance at your funeral.
Exactly. But thank you for all of that. And for anyone that's watching today, if you haven't followed, or if you're a follower who has not subscribed,
No way, no such thing.
do such creatures exist?
No,
I hope not.
Or if you're a sub
not.
whose sub has expired and you have not resubbed, sacre bleu!
Yes!
We have one question for you today.
What are you doing?
Come on, give us a follow, give us a sub
Bless
here
your
at Blue
heart.
Box.
Sub today.
We appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for the support. Blue Box will be right back.
Yes, nobody good died.
Good.
Nobody good.
Well,
Good
that's not true.
Yeah.
I'll bring you your phone, I promise.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. I want you to know, I wrote that for Mila, and it just so happens
It's
that
just perfect.
It is so good. It is also good.
Could I have a dream before I wake up?
Absolutely. I will let you tell it when you come
Do
back.
you mind if I do the same?
Yeah, absolutely. And
I'll try to keep. I'll try to
you
keep.
might want to like make room for her.
Oh, thank you.
I do my best.
Yeah, I would love to hear you guys' dreams.
I was like, I think it fits with what I'm taking, so I was like,
Gotcha. Perfect. Hey everyone, it's just us. Wait till you see what I'm about to do to these guys. It's gonna be terrible. Oh, never mind. Hello, welcome everyone.
I'm excited for that. That's incredible.
Be a good day, maybe.
It'll be
or maybe
so
it'll be a really bad day.
Well, we'll see.
Okay, so yeah, everything's going well. Thank you so much,
Everything's
Garrett,
going
for
well.
joining us and being patient. I know that was you
true.
were awesome.
Put her there.
And the 5 works well at the table. I think you guys all sound great. Looks great. All the
We're
angles
very
are
beautiful.
good.
We can't help
You
that.
always look
That's
great.
not our
So
fault.
true. No, it's not.
Please stop yelling at us about it.
Cough, cough, 21 comeliness, cough.
All right, so
Canonically.
he just wanted to remind me of that.
I did.
Also,
Yes.
really quick, upon waking up, Mila does write a letter to Roy.
Good. Yay.
Okay. All right. So we've got dreams. We've got letters.
We got level up.
And then
we got
we'll
level
see you.
ups.
Yes.
And then I know you may want to, if we want to do things like Salty Dog or other places.
No, I go into bed.
No, I mean I'm talking about the next day.
Oh.
We can maybe do some of that in like text chat or in game. Like I really want to move the storyline forward and not spend all day doing that. But okay, so party in the night hours, as I described the disturbed sleep that all of you have. I believe a couple of you want to describe that.
Sandbag in the basement,
and we're going to start with.
You have a sandbag for punching in the
We're going to start with you, Click.
Yeah, but it's tied up onto a post.
Okay, great.
Click, as you're sleeping.
Click's dream is he walks into the dock district and walks past 9 different burned down warehouses before he stops at the 10th. Walks in, only to see it starting alight, and 3 skeletal hands emerge from the floor beneath, pulling themselves up, screaming his name as the flames engulf him.
Click!
Yeah, it's not good. It's not a good dream that he has. It's a bad one. And he wakes up from being burnt.
Bolts upright, covered in sweat. Dahlia.
I think towards like this would happen like right at, like before the knock on the door in the morning. It is a dream cycling with just bits of imagery. I don't think there's even any noise, but it's her mother's head, open mouth screaming in a flame, but with no sound. There is a flash of her so little, so small, sitting out in the cold for what feels like days. And then same age, but reverse temperature. It's broiling hot outside, sitting by herself. And it's almost as though like you see the weather of like a small Dahlia, like shoulders covered in snow, transitions and melts into spring and then into the hot summer. You see just the ever-present teeth of wild animals snapping out as she reaches towards them, a figure behind her telling her to do so. And it's just these images over and over and over again. And I think Dahlia wakes up and she has pulled down the sandbag that Click had hanging in the basement and is straddling it and just punching until her knuckles, like there is blood on it, and just wakes up in that motion. And like just tears like pouring down her face as she is just, I think there's like rips in it of just like sand kind of out to the side and like loose screws that have kind of like popped off the wall from where it was like intentionally put up. And I think she just kind of like looks down at it just awoken and like hears the knock upstairs, and I think just kind of like rights herself and puts the sandbag like tilted just kind of against the wall, and we'll go over to her stuff and take her water skin and just kind of douse it over her hands, and yeah, wake up and go see who's at the door.
Bravo. All right, so you get a D6 of inspiration on your next roll.
Hey, I'll take it.
In addition to all the things, and your dream was also good, Thomas, but I mean, she did kind of go yard on that. So
Sorry, man.
I didn't have a very complex idea.
no, they were both good though. So as morning dawns, and the knock comes at the door, who opens the door?
Mila.
Mila. All right.
John.
Okay.
We haven't rolled our hit points yet.
I'm coming to that. No, I have not. I've not forgotten. I'm coming to that. I want to know who opens the door.
But I went to live it up. David is wearing Click's clothes, lying in the leather chair, jolts awake, realizes what he's wearing, and runs upstairs to go change.
Okay.
And then I open the door.
And I think like you hear like just like moving
he
from
busts into the room,
downstairs.
you're
I go
sleeping
towards
in.
the door, hear that. Just wait.
No, I'm imagining I knock on the door and then I hear somebody running inside the house
You do.
and then thumping from down below.
Thump, 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 thump,
And you
thump,
hear
yeah.
like somebody like climbing the ladder very quickly, and just like I don't even think I use my hands to like jump the thing. I think I like use my head, and I'm just like,
Oh,
hey,
Hi, we have a visitor, so
great.
Hello, it's Ram.
she'll like open the door and like open it just enough to kind of like stick her face in. Like, oh, hi, Ram, yes. Give us 1 moment of just your time. If it's early morning, you understand how it is. So getting ready.
You might have
Would you
more
like?
than a moment of my time. I will wait.
You are so sweet. Just making sure everything. I get
Say last time about
Dahlia.
how much time you'd wait.
At least 10 minutes or
Yeah,
something.
at
At least
least
15
10
minutes,
minutes.
something like that.
I help Dahlia out
I-
from
I
under.
go up.
Slightly
Close.
to your left, just a bit. No, Garrett.
Come here,
There we go.
Go
Perfect.
get
Thank you.
close
All
to
right.
Thomas. Don't be afraid.
Could you get tea started? Maybe.
Sure.
Okay.
And I think I look to Daisy and I'm like, you get the cups, I'll get the water.
Ram.
Yeah,
Sweetie,
I
would
open
you
the door.
like some sweet honeysuckle tea?
She says through the door.
I mean, sure.
Oh, of course you do. Don't say it so lackadaisical.
Please come in.
Okay, I'm gonna go
I
make
will.
some.
Okay, I'll get the water, I'll get the tea kettle over the fire.
Are there
and-
any updates from anything that you found since we?
I have a couple of ideas that I would like to run over with the full group when everybody is present. But I see that
Ram!
Yes.
David, hello.
And now we will level up. All right. So, who is ready to level?
Me.
I think
I think we all
Everyone
are.
except.
True,
Ram,
I'm
sorry.
not ready to level.
All right,
You
so
shy.
let's start on this side. We'll just go around
just
the
a
table.
big
Oh goodness!
How do I
oh
get back
goodness!
to where I level up? Because I
Wait.
said later.
Do I roll a D8?
just hit the level up button. It
Yeah,
should be right
it should
underneath
be right
your
there.
XP.
Level up.
Yes. Oh my god. Because that's a
Where?
D8.
Go to your scroll to the top of your main character sheet. There should be a little.
I think I
gotta
rolled a
pull this
D6
down.
last time.
That's in the way.
I
There
don't
we
know
go.
if that's true.
Where does it say it?
let me see.
I rolled a 5.
Oh
have
man,
you-
I'm
you
lost.
currently have
Y'all
16
am
health.
It
lost.
literally
Did you
says
have
level
11
up
days?
right there.
Oh, right there.
What's your card?
Use your eyes.
I need my glasses.
But
Yeah,
I
maybe
have I plus 1 hit
What is
point.
up with you and your glass?
It does happen.
I am all ready.
Yeah. All right.
do we just
So
wanna
we'll
go-
go this way. Yeah.
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
throw up. What's the lowest I can roll?
What's your
So what's your con?
Constitution modifier?
+2.
So you have a 16 con or a 15 con?
14.
14. Yeah. So +2. So you cannot roll a 2. You have to roll at least a 3.
Oh, I think I
Okay.
did.
2 or lower,
Great.
you reroll.
honestly
Okay.
Oh wait, hold on.
Oh, we
I
gotta
think
do
I
it?
have this here. I believe it's on this screen.
What do you have at level
1 second.
Oh, which dice do I use?
My
This
turn?
is
Yeah.
so
I got it. Hold
important.
on.
That's how much
My
you'd have.
turn?
Let me
So that's how much I had at level 1.
can show
And that's
1
how much you would have
second
gained
here.
at second level.
Okay.
Are you gonna be good?
I hate
All right.
choosing the wrong
So-
dice
Because I
for
assume you
this.
picked the hit point.
Pull
at
this
level
camera
1.
Okay,
up
yes, I did.
here.
She didn't.
Here we go.
Didn't.
No, I did.
You specifically told me you didn't.
An 8 on the
Heck
die.
yeah.
Very
Oh, wait.
nice.
Which
okay.
one do I
Great.
roll?
In which case-
You are rolling a
That's
D8. I
very
believe.
Yeah, you have a
Nice.
D8.
Beautiful. Oh yeah.
Then
It
yeah, I
is
guess I did.
Thomas time.
Almost
And so
time.
that's 10 total hit points because you have a +2. And your con is...
It's a +1.
Oh no!
Well, that's as minimum as I could have rolled.
The worst possible roll, a 2 on the die. Well, the dice, as they say, tell the
It
story.
does add 4 to my HP because I'm taking fun stuff,
But yeah, you have toughness.
He has the
favored class bonus.
Okay.
So
But you have a 21 comeliness, so there is that. All right, go ahead.
so mean.
Daisy Bell. Or, yeah, you're
Oh, Daisy Bell. Okay. Come on. Oh, this better be good.
an 8 on the die!
We've been waiting for it. We've been waiting for it.
Dice know when they have been warned.
Look at this.
Come
All
on.
right, go ahead. Mila,
I think I'm pretty close. I don't know.
a 3 and your con is...
Hey,
Oh, I don't have 20 hit points.
Oh,
I have 19.
all right. The dice were only partially
Even with the
kind.
+1.
I have 19 with the +1.
Dahlia and Daisy
Yes.
Bell did well. Nicely
what
done.
skills do
All right, so now I want to hear about skills, feats,
I
other
didn't get
important things,
20.
and we'll come back and I know you repped, so
Oh,
you.
John.
This hurts.
I think
It's so fun.
What's so fun?
Level 3.
Oh yes, level 3. They've only 23 sessions to get to level 3.
Well-
Nicely done.
13.
Yeah, true. 13.
so. Dahlia, I think, kind of in that dream, like she was fatigued last night, like in the game sense, fatigued. But I think as she wakes up, there is this new sort of vitality, and I've taken Recovered Rage.
Hey.
You regain rounds of rage or raging song performance when you drop a foe. So anytime I reduce someone to 0, I gain back rage.
How much rage?
1.
Yeah,
one for every
round,
yeah.
One round for every what?
Every foe that I reduce to 0 or
That's
below.
nice. That's an excellent feat.
Yes. Is
Love
that all
it.
you get?
Yep, that's all
And
I
what
get.
skills? Like, what'd you add your skills to?
Let's see. I think I just took the ones that I was already taken. We took.
Did you get anything for Blood Rager at level 3?
No, not yet. That's level 4.
But I imagine that your combat
It'll
bonuses
be
have gone up pretty
fun.
significantly. And
Yeah, I think so. Probably.
yeah,
Yes,
you're
old
easy to
school.
hit
This
now.
is old school, guy, but it's old school with a new school flavor. It's
We've got plus to climb, plus to intimidate, which is insanely high now.
what's
so
your intimidate
scary.
now?
Let me see. Sorry, I missed it because of all these gosh darn knowledge things. Plus 11.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Why is it?
Because you get some stuff from being like a blood rager.
All right, as we go to before we go to click,
Yeah.
click. We're gonna get your feats but
What else should I
a
get?
quick interlude back to Ram. Ram, as you knocked upon the door, you felt that brisk winter breeze, but there are no clouds in the sky now. The sun hangs almost like a lemon candy in the sky of azure background, brisk wind, and then you hear the voice of one of the many town criers of Altamira ringing out
No.
as he says, "Cower in fear! Old Tom Sorrow snatches 5 younglings' innocence from the Greyton orphanage. The devil lives among us!" Oh no. Alas, Griswold, cherished tradesman, found lifeless in the gilded cage.
Who would have done that?
Captain Juan Carlos vows justice and a cleansing in the low quarters' violent shadows. Take heed! And he wafts the paper around as you're walking in the door.
Give him money to make him
Trade routes in Evansfield are now barred. Expect to pay a king's ransom for your favorite spices. Get them here, 1 copper only.
It's
Ads.
he's hustling. I love that for him.
Yeah,
That was not included in what he needed to say. He just happened to have a little
Which
spice rack.
orphanage were they stolen
The
from?
Greyton,
Greyton.
which might ring a bell.
Yeah.
It does.
They also have an orphanage?
It's the same name as the
When
school.
you have wealthy families, they may do more than one thing.
It's
They
called
could be good.
philanthropy.
Yeah. Well,
It's called putting up airs.
yeah.
Okay. Would you like to know how I leveled
Yes,
up?
please.
I gained 4 HP, everybody.
Woo! We're in the same boat.
I have, as a vigilante,
One clap
a lot
for
of
each
skills
hit
I can put stuff into. I get 12 skill points. I won't bog you down with all of what I did, but the main ones were stealth, perception, and intimidation, which my intimidation is now plus 10, so I'm not quite as good as Dahlia. But if I am click,
In the city, yeah.
if I'm click and I'm near my area of renown, my intimidation is plus 14. So pretty good.
Nice.
In terms of feats, ooh, John, you're gonna love me. I picked up Sap Adept, which we
Right.
discussed, which for those that don't know, if you use a non-lethal weapon, you deal an amount of extra damage equal to the amount of sneak attack dice you rolled, which now at level 3, both Jenny and my sneak attacks are now 2 dice instead of 1. Woo! And I get a vigilante trait. Specifically, I actually get a social trait. So meaning this is more related to David, but I think it's actually more related to Click in that I took Loyal Aid. Dink and
Yay.
Donk are now mechanically valid.
Oh, that is so unfortunate.
And they actually have tools.
So somebody can run the store while we leave.
Unless they're
That's-
dead, should we discuss the decision I made?
I didn't give you all of. We'll come back.
We will
to that.
chat.
We'll
Uh-oh.
come back to that.
Oh, no.
Yes, every character matters in this story to me, and I think through all of them. And yes, there is something with Dink and Donk.
All right, well, we
No
will get to that.
way,
Yeah,
John!
sorry,
I might
sorry.
take a different one.
Are you gonna
might
kill
have-
2
I
kids
didn't-
on top of the 5 you already killed?
Unless that's 2 of the kids.
Well, they weren't in the orphanage. They had like.
No, they're not an
families.
orphanage.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that would not be them. All right, so let's go to me. Well done.
Thank you.
And look, I want to say again, all these characters. Well, frankly, all these characters are incredible. The thought that goes into them, the way these players roll.
No.
It is. They hit me up all through the week in Discord with
do.
fantastic ideas,
We're the
fiction, incredible. No,
Did
it's
all of
just
us do
it's amazing, and the way.
I wrote something, but I didn't send it.
The way Click David is unfolding, we've talked about this a bit on stream. This is going to be the most amazing, mature, sensible, thoughtful, and provocative way such a character's ever been played. I just think
don't
it's
accept this.
incredible. Mila.
If you say that this is okay, I think Mila's dream last night had. It started off as a nightmare, as everyone has. Woke up in a familiar
You know.
room, one she has not seen in a very long time, and out of kind of panic and fear, wrapping her small hand around the doorknob and opening it, she sees 2 figures at the end of a hall, silhouetted in darkness.
I biffed it. I didn't know you had a
That's
a
fine,
dream
she didn't
story.
say it.
Well, that's my fault here. So you need the accompanying music here. So.
Oh, okay.
And perhaps dark blue light.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
I can make such things happen instantly. Please.
2 figures silhouetted in darkness, and instantly she knows who they are, and she attempts to step forward, and it does not move. She does not move. And she steps forward again, and again, and again, and again, and every time she steps, the hallway stretches longer and longer, and she gets further and further away from the 2. And as she closes her eyes and kind of lets her knees hit the ground, she finds them hitting a soft, lush grass. And she reopens her eyes.
As she does, and her knees touch that soft grass, she hears the twill of a bird, and she looks up and sees a small copper-bellied bird take flight into the sky.
Stemming from a tree that she recognizes. And does she see the figure?
The knock sounds breaking you from your reverie as you saw the limbed outline of the figure and then were pulled from the dream.
Oh. Write that down. Write that down.
Got it.
But how'd you level up?
Yes, that's a great question. So, I got 4 hit points as well.
Hey,
I'm not
4 hit
yet
point gang.
at
Yes.
20 hit points. I have 19 total. It's fine. I used my skill points to mostly go into heal, of course, as we know, but perception and sense motive.
Oh, very nice.
Wisdom.
She
helpful.
sees, she observes. And the feat that I took is called Psychic Sensitivity, specifically for one part of it called Faith Healing, which we'll get to that. You guys will see how it works, and it'll be really cool,
It
and we'll
is
get
so
to
good.
it.
And yeah, again, And your fiction that you wrote, same thing I was saying, that like it's so good. I am honestly honored to be the DM for such a great group of players, even you, Garrett.
Thank you.
trying hard to level
I
up.
took-
Killing like a madman.
You're close though.
Yeah,
you're not
very,
far.
very close actually.
I took read
Really?
magic.
How close are?
I'm about 300 XP.
Oh, not too close. You're right.
I think that's pretty close.
Soon.
Yeah, that is close. Yeah. All right. Sorry, Quinn.
I took read magic as my orison.
Nice.
And forbid action as my first level spell. Finley also leveled up with me.
Yes.
And question,
I'll roll.
it says, I know that things work differently because I have Finley due to a feat that I took.
I cannot leave the caltrop on the floor. Hang on.
No, is it a D4?
It is.
Dangerous.
It says that at level 3 with normal familiars you are able to cast spells through them, but I know that because I took this as a feat that it works differently, so we can talk about that later.
Yeah, so you're asking if
Think
you
on
can
it?
cast spells through Finley. That will be something we will do in-game, in roleplay. That's not,
Okay.
yeah.
Perfect. Awesome.
I believe it's limited to touch only spells.
Yeah, it
correct?
is.
Yes. And yeah, that I think that's it. Oh, my invocations are improved.
Let's go.
Some of them have improved, and that's really good for us, including fast healing, which is now 2 fast heal rather than 1, which is
Hey, which
points
is
around.
yeah,
Oh, no, wait.
very grateful
5.
party.
for you.
Me?
I
That's
mean, you've been the
wild.
meat shield. You have absorbed the damage and been the, and
We
then you
need
have
it.
been the healer, like constantly. Yeah, that's
we need-
so
What's
necessary.
Mila?
Game
What's Mila
recognized
for?
game.
Game recognized game. Yes, ma'am.
What's the only thing this party lacks?
A full caster.
Arcane spellcasting. Yes, like no one
Yeah.
really has that. So, but
I was actually looking forward to Jenny doing that, but
Hey,
yeah.
don't worry. I could help.
You'll get there.
We'll get there.
okay.
we both
Creepy nature
Just
version.
tell us about Daisy Bell.
What about her?
what's
Oh,
higher random?
Yeah,
Do
like
I
skills,
roll?
feats. No, you
Do
already
you
rolled.
have spells?
oh, I rolled. That's right.
Yeah, you had
okay,
8
so
and- yeah.
I gained skills. Wait, what am I on?
Just pay
The
us for tenure
skills
fee.
of. Hold on, I have to go back, but I don't want to go back. Hold on.
Look at you put on.
Thanks for your patience, audience. Hope you guys enjoy the mechanics of this as well.
So disguise, climb,
Okay.
I added more to my bluff.
All right, and then your feet.
My feet. So I got no trace. It's a +1.
Yeah, pass.
That would
No
make
is that
sense.
pass without trace, or
Because
is it called
Ram
no
feels
trace?
in-
It's called no trace.
No trace.
To cover my tracks. So like when I was walking in the
Okay.
snow,
Yeah,
that would
right.
have
Yeah.
We're going
same
to talk.
idea.
That's
right.
yeah, no. Sneak attack
secret for you.
plus 2d6.
Right. Okay.
So that's cool. Thomas.
Yes.
I do not have graceful athlete as one that I can add,
Is
but
it
there was
because you're
something called Gray Maiden Initiate.
You have to take it at first level, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah, you
okay.
can.
It just sounded neat.
Did you want to do
Okay.
Deadly Agility, the one that adds dex
I
to your
think
damage?
I'm just gonna do deadly but I can also add 2 key points. So, but
Well, you get that anyways. Improved key or whatever.
yeah,
Extra
Deadly
key.
agility is so, like if you add that with weapon finesse,
It's so good.
It
You're
is
gonna do a
really,
lot of
really
damage.
good.
You're going to do a
Alright.
lot of damage.
then I'll do that. I just added deadly agility.
Fantastic.
There we
job.
go.
Let's go.
Way to
Nicely
go.
done.
I will become a deadly ninja.
You
Yeah, you
already
And
are.
you didn't get anything from Ninja, though. You just got the feat at 3rd level and then some extra stuff, right?
Nothing specific from them.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
I totally forgot.
that's not-
I get a mercy to
Oh,
my
yes.
lay on hands now as well, and I
We didn't take the psychic in place of that mercy.
No.
Okay,
No,
right.
the
It's a class
extra
one.
mercy was what I was
The
thinking of
additional
taking.
mercy,
That would have
gotcha,
given
okay,
me 2 rather than the one that I get at
All
third
right, so
level.
what mercy are you taking?
Do the. Yeah. I don't know.
So
They're all pretty.
there are
Yeah, there's a
there
lot
were
of
2 that
and
I
you
was
never know
thinking.
which one's going to be useful, right? It's always-
Exactly.
One of them is a lot more flavored than mechanical, which is the calm emotions one, which we have already kind of drilled in that every time Mila gets that touch of the divine from Lahezi, she feels that calm and that warmth, and that is something that she could be able to transfer through her healing.
Yeah.
But then there's also being able to heal fatigue, which is so good for her.
It is. It is. I'm
And-
good with either one.
I feel like
I think one of the best examples of heal fatigue in fiction writing is Moraine with the horses in Wheel of Time when they're first escaping from the 2 rivers, and it's a really cool thing to have.
There is
But-
precedent for this.
One thing to know too is
Think-
that I just took something that gives me more rage, and I have 10 rages now. So that means that the more rage I have,
the more
less
you
likely
can-
I am to hit fatigue.
Sure, but is it when your rage just ends or when you go to zero
I
rage?
think it's when I go to the long check.
I believe
it's
when
just
your
when it
rage ends, you're
Let's see.
fatigued for a number of rounds. So you get the amount of
Forever.
rounds.
Oh,
you
yeah, it
raged.
is equal. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Yep.
Number of rounds equal to what?
the amount of rounds
The
you
amount of
raged.
rage.
Yeah. So it would be useful.
I will say, Jenny, you did get something from Ninja. It's called No Trace. The
Yeah.
DC for survival checks to track you is great. Did you already talk about that?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Sorry,
She just
I
didn't realize
missed
it
that.
came from the
And
class.
your sneak attack went up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just
she
to
mentioned
make sure
both,
that yeah. Okay,
she
sorry,
meant-
I was.
I think she
mildly
didn't.
distracted.
She didn't realize no trace came from the
Yeah. Great.
class, but yes. All right,
I go with fatigue.
you go fatigue. All right, good.
I go fatigue.
All right, so back to you, Ram, as you hear the town crier call out, wafting his papers.
About
Who could have done a thing like this?
Wait, what are you dressed like?
I'm old Ram again.
Okay, old Ram.
I'm not in disguise as
You're not
another
Ram Ram.
person.
yeah.
You've never seen Ram.
We
I-
never
exactly.
Ram. I don't like that.
And do you procure a paper, or you let the town crier walk
I think I
along?
would grab a paper once
do?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So take a copper from your inventory.
I try to keep abreast of.
Thank you,
local
sir.
events.
He gives you a wink.
Stimulate the local
course.
economy. How great.
Exactly. And he hands you a piece of parchment with scribblings on it. It's actually, you see, it's about 3 times the length of what he called out, so there's clearly more detail in the document.
Impressive. I will. I'll read it as I continue to approach, well equipped.
Okay.
You're waiting outside.
You're texting and walking. Sorry.
All
for
right,
the
yeah. All right, so
anachronism.
then before the door opens, we're kind of backing
Yeah.
up here. As you read it, you see those same 3 stories, but they're in more detail. So old Tom Sorrow and his unholy deeds. In the orphanage, you read, the vile creature known as Old Tom Sorrow has struck once again. This time, even worse, horrifying depths of depravity. In the dead of night, he stole away 5 innocents from the orphanage of the Greytons. The monster has become a blight on our cities and a living nightmare. He appears to be growing in power and boldness. The city guard implores all citizens to stay indoors after dusk and report any signs of Old Tom. We must unite to protect our children from incarnate evil. The Griswold story. Griswold's unfortunate demise and low quarter crackdown is as it's titled. And it reads, in a macabre twist of fate, our dear Griswold, beloved proprietor of the Gilded Cage, was found lifeless in his shop, pierced through his posterior.
Beloved by who exactly?
It appears even in death, he found himself the butt of a cruel joke.
Oh, that's so
Okay, this author clearly did not like Griswold.
They should be charging more than a common for this paper.
That's funny.
yeah. That was a
This
visceral
latest
reaction.
bout of lawlessness only underscores the violence that is happening in the low quarter. Captain Juan Carlos, the city guard, has sworn to bring an end to this bloodshed, vowing to cleanse the low quarter district starting from the bottom. Much like the unfortunate Griswold. The trade dispute, rising spice prices, an escalating tariff dispute with the neighboring area of Ebensfeld has led to a suspension of all trade, putting a stranglehold on the city's spice supply. The cost of everyday staples like pepper and cloves is skyrocketing, leaving citizens to feel the punch, not just of their purse strings, but their taste buds. Unless a resolution is found quickly, the city's food is destined to be as bland as a wet winter's morn.
You should work in newspaper.
For real. That's great.
The brown is coming for everyone.
Where is
No
Evansville?
spices.
Brown.
Not yet.
Ebensfeld is across the bay. So, yeah, actually, that's a good question. Let me pull that up
Brown
for
can
you
be
guys.
worse.
So you can see it. So this is the world of Aihrde. If we still have any of our old Troll Lord games right now, I have actually 2. Let me show you this here.
TLG
So
people?
this is the local region where the city of Altamira has been added. This is the free city of Altamira right here in the Bald Mountains along the
very
Unkwood
free.
River.
Things are good.
Very close to the Twilight Woods. But if we go to the
Bestie.
larger map here, you see that across. So here is the same thing with Allah. So yeah, it's a big world.
We could go anywhere.
It's a big world, yes. So across the bay here, this is Ebensfeld. So you have many different cities. It's a very popular trading route because it's a straight shot across the bay
then
here,
just right up the road.
and so yeah. So this is there's some sort of tariff dispute happening here, which is restricting spice trade.
So that's unrelated to the orc stuff
Well-
that's happening.
I make no such.
Well,
I
Okay.
just
I heard about
you
pirates.
Draw,
I
you
was
draw
just-
what you will.
Yeah, no, I was just curious. I was like, did I miss something in the
They
talking?
didn't say anything about
they
pirates
didn't
with respect to this, but I cannot confirm or deny. Sorry,
I do
so
remember
you
when
have
we
all
were-
of this in your hand as you.
When we were kids.
Yeah.
Ram!
Hello.
Welcome! Yes, tea! We have that started. Come
It's
on
here.
in.
Wonderful, wonderful. How was your night after we left?
So
wonderful.
I was very well rested.
Good, me
hope the
too.
same
Us
for you.
too.
Same
You
here.
see massive bags.
They all look harried and dark.
Daisy's
and
the only one who looks
you
good.
smell.
I meditate. If I don't meditate, is when I have bad dream. But I meditated, so,
Oh, so
mine
you're
were-
fine.
I will say Daisy Bell slept soundly. No pangs
I
of consciousness
feel
fully
assaulted
on
you
a
in the
bed
night
as
hours.
well.
You're being so loud.
My soul is so refreshed.
awesome.
man.
Dahlia's just like squinting. Like just
You
kind of
seem
like
a little
wiping.
agitated. You need some tea.
I do. I really do.
I got that for you.
Also, I lean over if David's like somewhat far away from Ram, and I just turn and I go, by the way, I really messed up the punching bag downstairs. I'm so sorry. I like turn back to the conversation.
Punching bag. Oh, Click's punching bag. Yes, it's fine.
Or whoever's, yeah.
By the way, David, I don't know if you were informed by your friends, but I had my life saved by Click just last
Really?
evening. Yes.
You got to meet him.
Right after you left, in fact. It's a shame that you were able to that you missed it. It was incredible to see him intimidate an entire building after a single punch. Now, I know.
We're all looking at David just like,
Now, I don't want to ask you any questions about Click because I'm an investigator. I can find the man myself. But I understand that you are.
David, like breathes a sigh
I
of relief.
understand that you are a composer of many songs that are sung about Click, and as
What can I
perhaps a
say?
little bit of payment for the help he has given me, I was thinking that I might write a few verses for him myself.
You would like to collaborate?
Yes, I was thinking maybe you could. I have a verse here that I was thinking maybe you could.
Shall we read it
critique
together?
me on? Yes, of course. It's with a click.
All right, read it to me, please.
Yes. With a click, he attacks, and then all the villains fall slack to their knees in fear of this fellow.
Okay, all right. I mean, it's all right. The rhyme.
Hey,
no,
David,
he's asking for genuine
I am.
feedback.
Yeah.
Oh, and David's always willing to give it.
Do you know what meter is?
So true.
Dahlia like has like her teeth come up and it's like,
I love it.
Tell me about it.
I thought this guy was the next one.
Traditionally, when you're writing rhyme schemes, you want your rhymes to match pacing on syllables expressed
Heal your hands.
through your
Oh, I'm
singing.
all good.
You want your pacing to be about right, evenly line to line, so that your singers can keep.
Yeah.
You know, click goes your knee and your jaw. Click goes your coin on the floor. They flow into the next. You could work on that middle line. I think it could flow a little easier. But it's fantastic. The rhyme
Understood,
the rhyme
yes.
work is fantastic.
Thank you. I will continue workshopping it. Perhaps one day you'll be singing this in.
Oh, I would love it. We could collaborate if you like.
A duet.
Unless you're wanting to write it on your own.
Aw.
Well, I have no issue with that. If you want to work on it together,
That would be fantastic. Maybe next time.
Traveling troop.
Perhaps next time you're here for your leathers, we can work on that.
of course. Now, the tea.
Yes.
Right here for you.
Thank you.
Enjoy. It's the best you'll ever have.
Steaming cups of perfectly
Indeed.
crafted honeysuckle tea.
Thank you.
Now that we are all clearly well rested and enjoying our tea,
We are. We are.
So well.
I propose we discuss
Kiana.
the our investigation,
Yes.
the unfortunate events, and what we found, what we are going to be doing from here on out.
If Click was involved, I imagine things got a little violent.
You could say that. It was an interesting. I don't know how much you've been told already by your good friends.
I
but
haven't
we
been
had
told anything
an
quite yet.
interesting fight that was then broken up by somebody that you apparently know. I don't know what's up with that. but he seemed like a large fellow.
It was deep.
He is a large fellow.
It was Deke.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Good?
Well,
Well,
both of us at the same time just go, well.
He has no debt to us anymore in his mind.
So,
Fantastic.
maybe not good, but at least even.
We didn't die.
Great.
Some of us weren't even injured.
Some of us fell asleep on the ground.
touching my arm where I just got axed over and over and over again without being able to hit once.
Yes, but we're all recovered now, and I have brought with me the note, which you may be interested in seeing. I assume you haven't been told about its contents yet.
We had
where
like a
did you find
girls'
this?
night last night, and so
This
we
was
were out
at the
late.
Yes.
Gilded Cave.
Didn't get a chance
Gilded
to tell
Cave.
David about it.
I've been there a couple of times. How's the proprietor?
Well,
question.
here. I will hand you the paper as well.
Level 3.
yeah, tell
does it
him
have
about
to?
the proprietor, Ram.
He unfortunately perished.
How could this happen?
Well,
I don't know. Tell him, Ram.
well, you see,
Whether or not it
We
was
entered
round
the
up or
building.
not, because I have 4 charisma.
I began speaking to the
I don't know
proprietor.
if it's rounded up. or
Daisy
down.
Bell began charming one of the small fellows nearby.
Charming is such a nice word of you to use.
Your
Thank
charisma's 18 or
19.
19. All right,
Anyways,
so
we went to
plus
speak with the
charisma.
proprietor. I began asking questions, which he did not seem to be a fan of.
Not.
I imagine it was related
Called
to.
for help. Yes, it was
That's
related
totally
to the
fine.
investigation. Called for help, tried to flee. I poked him while he was leaving, and then he proceeded to bleed out on the stairs while we were fighting the muscle that showed up. So,
And
That unfortunate femoral artery.
yes.
Just-
and that means that Juan Carlos is looking for.
Well, he's looking for not me
But
Oh, you
potentially,
disguised yourself.
all the time.
Oh, it
We
was
were
such
also
fun,
disguised.
I
David.
was
You missed it.
Not. And Juan Carlos
dress
has seen
up.
me
You did?
I
recently.
did.
and
with
actually
us.
knew you were doing some investigations in the low quarter.
Not about this.
Not about this per se.
he definitely knows that it was us down
He's
with
at the very least he knows
Donna.
where to go
Dahlia
after.
is pretty hard to hide.
It's-
Daisy Bell.
And I made it a very
in
clear
a
point to
riding
be
crop.
like,
She's in her riding crop.
But the best part is David literally told Juan Carlos he knows where to go if he needs to ask questions.
Exactly. Yes.
Right here. All right, well, interesting. This note is rather interesting.
I agree. I was thinking that perhaps the thrice towards the moon and twice towards the sun was some sort of reference to a period of time. Perhaps it is a time
Well, the moon
after
cycle is
which-
obviously a full month.
Yes.
So
this
sometime
month-
this month, which would be during the month of... Which
Nocturne.
We're in Nocturne.
is... yes.
We're now on
No.
the 6th of Nocturne, right?
Yes.
We're
yes,
now on the
today's-
6th.
today's the
Yes,
6th of
thank you for
Nocturne.
we have one
reminding
day.
We have, yes.
Thrice towards the moon and twice towards the dawn. What's your take on that?
Well, I was
The
assuming
longest
that it
day
might
has
be
ended.
days after the message was received. So, for instance,
oh, you're waiting for,
for
someone
instance,
to dance.
3 nights and 2
Click
days.
isn't technically on the...
Oh, Click is not on the board.
David
It's
is there.
David. Yeah, I've got to fix that.
Sorry,
So
sorry, sorry.
I will make it happen manually, but thank you so
Either-
much.
3 nights and 2 days from when the message is received, something is supposed to happen, or perhaps this is a way of indicating some sort of password that will be good for the next period of time.
This message is rather cryptic. Passwords is interesting. It says only the venomous enter the nest, and then this ink splotch is rather interesting. What do you take on that? To me, it looks like it is
Somebody's bad at
underlining.
writing.
It looks like it's underlining the words "no mouse."
Which would make sense for a
Serpent Slayer.
Yeah, so interested in serpents and vipers.
Dahlia doesn't understand what's going on, but it's just like,
Let me see the note. I'll show it to the
Thoughtful,
audience here
thoughtful.
as well.
It's very good, John. You did a good job burnishing the edges.
yeah, way to go.
So here's
Does it get
the...
scary when you do that?
No.
Yes. 'Cause you worry that the whole thing you just worked on is going to go.
Yeah, this was the note recovered from the body of Griswold, wadded up on his form.
So then we are betting on when he received this to determine when the meeting was to be set.
Perhaps it could also have something else to do with the unit of time. Perhaps it's an indication of some sort of day this month that something is happening.
Graham, did you end up going back in after the poison whatever was in that box had time to clear?
I don't believe I did.
Fair. There was a lot of poison in
Yes.
that room.
And there were sounds of the town. Clearly, people were attracting attention. You guys vacated shortly after. We didn't really role play what happened after
Yeah.
the poison, but I gave you guys just the benefit of the doubt to get out of there for sake of time.
Well, interesting. Do we know where to go? Is there a physical location that we are aware of?
I certainly don't. I do know that whatever group was in charge of this seems to have employed the group that your friend or
The
whoever
yellow-
he was,
the Yellow
Deke, the
Knives.
Yellow Knives, they seem to employ them as muscle. So it's possible that we could find an avenue of investigation through that connection.
Hey, Daisy, you like the salty dog, do you not?
Oh.
Guess who else does?
Actually, hold
Two
on.
avid members of the Yellow
Hold on.
Knives.
No, so.
Oh!
And you guys,
Wow.
again, you can do as you wish, but Click would know this. You know exactly where the Viper's Nest is.
Oh,
And it is also in the low quarter. It is deeper, in the low quarter docks, rather. It is deeper
into the maze.
past the Serpent's Bite.
Okay.
It is connected to the Serpent's Bite from a personnel, like people waft back and
Serpents
forth.
and vipers, yeah.
Not physically connected,
Yes.
but yes, you know exactly where it's at.
Socially connected.
Yes, and so you know it to be a building up on stilts, right on the water of the quay there in the dock district.
The Viper never forgets.
But you've never been able to get into it.
Of course not. The Viper. There is a place in the low quarter called the Viper's Nest. Drinking place or a gambling?
Gambling, drinking, and fighting, all rumored.
It's a place where bets. It's a place where bets are made, and money is passed around. I'm not sure who guards it. I've tried to get in multiple times to learn what I could about it, but they're a little stingy.
Well, and
Talia starts to laugh quietly about the idea of David going up
trying.
hello, may I go into your gambling establishment?
Totally right. You're totally right. Would I know why I was
Get
denied
out.
access?
no, you actually never. David never tried.
Oh, too risky for
well,
me.
well,
Yeah.
David understood that wrong entry efforts could be perilous.
Okay.
Good
Like,
boy,
it's
don't
not
go
the
to a
kind of place you
like
just
that.
knock on a door. Oh, sorry, wrong address. That like people don't go there unless they belong
I'll
there.
leave the thing I said still standing because
Yeah.
it still makes sense within that context, though. So, but if we know of a way to get in, specifically, it looks like we might even have a password. No mouse. Do we have any other signifiers of our entrance?
Well, we might be able to, if we do believe that is the right place, we might be able to just go and watch other people gain entry to the establishment.
We could.
Well, what about this idea? Do they have people who serve drinks?
I'm
Like-
sure they do, but I'm also sure that
We
they
trying
would
to get jobs?
know
Yeah.
who their employees are.
Yes. But what if I disguise myself and
We
There's
still,
also- I don't
Hold
know-
up that potion.
How many people would deny a beautiful lady access
Oh,
to a
But
bar?
Now,
that depends
that
on
being
your
said,
bar.
if the
do you
beautiful
have
lady
anything
is
that could
nice,
put extra charm on me?
I can divinely
you could
bless
be
you.
nice.
But also, I would hesitate to.
I adore how frustrating this is.
No, now I'm thinking about the TPK that's about to unfold.
Yeah, I would hesitate to send in any single one of us alone into this establishment.
Perhaps specifically Daisy?
Yes, perhaps specifically Daisy. Perhaps any lone woman going into a den of criminality is a bad idea. Come on. Hey,
I mean, look at me.
just no matter how strong you are, there can be 20 people. I don't think. Listen, I understand you're very strong, but I don't know how well you'd be
There
able to
could be
I just
20
like
people
messing
for
with
your
you.
scrawny male behind as well.
Yes.
So.
Exactly. He's worried about that behind.
But what would be okay? What is our purpose for going there? Gather information or kill people?
Our goal is to stop
A
this debt that Kiana has.
Okay, so is it to gather information?
We should most likely watch, observe
Well,
first,
I can watch if I'm serving drinks. I'm not gonna kill
From the
anybody.
outside.
Oh, that's a very good idea.
see how
It's
to
better
get
on the
in.
inside.
Yeah,
But it could
have
be
If
us-
they
like, hey,
don't
I've
know
got a
that we are
card, yeah.
there,
Specifically mentioned.
if we could go in and come out without anybody knowing we were there,
Yeah.
I think that is the goal.
How would we do that?
Or at least somebody very
But
specific
also,
who
they
holds
were
the
what gave
debt
me
knowing
away
we're
last
there.
time.
That's fine. we don't want to make a scene.
Yeah,
Because if we make a
I don't
scene,
mind asking this
still
question
wonder, 'cause I felt
because
like-
it's not even know. So, if I'm understanding, what would be the point of going in and no one knowing you were there if you're trying to absolve Kiana of her debt? Am I missing?
Are we looking?
I'm not telling you what you're doing.
Are we
but I'm
not
just-
looking for documents of some sort that have her dead in it, or are we
Yeah,
trying to convince someone to take off her debt?
That's a fair question. Yeah.
We could do that, but I would have guessed that if somebody has at least a consistent line of making money,
Yeah,
they don't need a
regardless of
paper to
yeah.
remind them. They're
Yeah.
probably going to be like, hey, we're 50 gold short. Isn't
This is
there
more-
like
this is
some
more
gal that we take
extortion
money
than
from?
legal
Like,
business.
Yeah. There's not necessarily triplicate forms.
So what are we looking like? Are we trying to get?
I think we're looking for a kingpin, like somebody
Yes,
who's.
So you'd have to be on the inside.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is walk into a place that I find to be too dangerous to get into at all, and speak with potentially the leader of that place and demand that they absolve someone of
I
the
would
debt
not
that they don't
demand
care of.
anything. I would just be sweet and demure and serve drinks and listen.
Daisy, I don't mean this the wrong way. How has that worked for you thus far?
Also,
I don't think
but
that's a
I act in the way that is appropriate for the situation.
I'm sure
I
it
don't
would be
think that's- I
fine until a
disagree.
gnome tried to order drinks from you.
Dahlia like just erupts in laughter. I think if we had, a few weeks, I don't think that's a bad idea.
I know.
But I don't think we have a few
Oh, we don't have a few weeks.
How are you?
Trip
Do you
plan.
have
We got a trip
things to do?
plan. We got a trip
Will
plan.
not be
where-
staying
where you go?
in Altamira for
There
too
is
long.
Wherever.
There is a shipment that I need to be making to the north, around Avignon.
And have you
Chemie.
seen him? He needs some bodyguards.
He does.
Yes.
I am in much the same position, to be
Yeah.
fair.
Lovely women will be taking care of that wagon for me while I drive it, I believe.
Not to mention, every day that passes, Kiana is exploited in unspeakable ways.
Yep.
You know, these things happen. So,
I think we should see the type of people that enter,
perhaps,
maybe see who exits.
maybe even speak to one. If we recognize any.
And what would you say exactly?
It's a very good question.
We know that they gamble and fight in there, right? Is that like common? Well, I guess.
He would know.
He knows,
I've told
but-
you about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
the-
Also,
I think Dahlia
I'm
would be
gonna
like,
detect chaos just to see if this is David or if this is.
Okay.
ooh.
I will allow that.
I
You
think
don't detect any chaos.
Dahlia would just be like, well, I mean, if we see anyone we know, we could always just say, hey,
Watch
we're
him
looking
anyway.
to gamble, we're looking to fight, looking for a
him
way to
anyway.
make some money, and then
Why would you see people you know?
I don't know.
Both of them.
Okay, fair. Good point.
Sometimes you see people in places.
Yeah. That you don't expect.
You heard what Chili said. She sounded wise to me.
This guy.
That was about to.
Sorry, everyone's missing. That's the rat Finley
Yes.
that is speaking to her right now. People on stream wondered why there's probably two conversations happening.
This is my sweet boy. He can
Finley
speak to me in
is
my
speaking
brain.
telepathically
Brain
to
speak.
her.
Brain
and he's
speak.
always looking out.
I would really. So. I think.
What if we
It would be
gamble the debt
fun.
away?
Huh?
What if we gamble the debt away? You're planning on going into a gambling hall?
Yeah.
Do you feel
We-
lucky?
I know someone who can fight really well.
I think Dahlia's like, fight the dead away. Actually, like, makes a little girlish for a second. It's like,
David,
think I
I
fight
have the
really
greatest
well?
idea ever.
Do you?
Okay, it would require me learning my hand signals a little bit better. But what if you all went into gamble? I was serving drinks. Put a little in some of their drinks, and then kind of gave signals for what they were doing. Oh my goodness, this could.
I still feel like trying to sneak in as employees of the establishment is a bad
Yes.
call.
So I won. No. I do not want to discount any plans. We are brainstorming.
again, if
All
we have
ideas
weeks,
are valid.
I think that's a great point.
All ideas are valid, but
It's just a
the more
fun idea.
the more places you
very
put on your bridge where it can just break, ooh, the whole thing's just gonna come
I
down.
know, but I wouldn't go as Daisy. I would just go as a different, like on the same level, but different.
Sure, but
Same,
but give me no. Give me right now your exact plan on how you want to do that.
Wait,
You asked
How
what
do
I
you
would say
get
to a
hired?
person exiting.
how would I get hired?
Yeah.
Just go up and show my pretty face.
And that would just work.
And they would hire you for the kind of job you're looking for.
Well, I'd have to show a little more, I think. But
So-
I'm all covered right
well,
now.
they might they might want to hire you for another job.
To be devil's advocate as well, what if they just don't want to hire you at all?
Not to say that you're
Or
not very
alternatively, what if they seek to employ you in a way that
Well,
is forceful?
That's what. Yeah.
pretty. Yeah.
Things could get a little violent then.
You want to put this,
Dahlia's mind is playing out where somebody's like, hey, would you want to do a different kind of job? And Daisy immediately is just like,
Suddenly there's a hairpin through the throat.
Yeah.
my opinion
Just
is to
thought I'd
put,
be serving drinks, but if it's more than that, it's
well,
gonna go to
you've
a
had
very
issue
bad
giving a
place.
drink to a gentleman in the Salty Dog before.
Well, I was thinking about how to do that differently. In my
Even
head.
worse, they could put you in as a dishwasher. What are you going back there?
My opinion is we should put as few avenues of conflict between you and our end goal as is possible. So,
Violence is never not.
you
the
getting a
answer.
job at a place that might take advantage of you in a way that you don't like.
Well, then I'll just gamble.
Well,
I could dress up as a man. I've done it before.
what benefit would that be to you?
Fun.
I mean, sure.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
Personally, I don't think it's a bad idea to have you potentially fight away the debt.
Oh, I think that would be fun.
I may have also
And then I could be
recently accrued some notoriety in terms of
Oh yes, you were called
The
the Reaver.
Reaver.
Yes, that did happen. I heard that.
Perhaps they might
about
want
that.
the Reaver to enter their tavern
Oh.
that could be
to see what she's really worth.
could be could be.
Did we discover how much Kiana's debt truly was?
500 gold.
How much
That
gold
we
did we
do
even?
not
Hey, how
have.
much gold did we get off of Granger's
Granger?
body?
Oh yeah, we got stuff.
Because we found his
Yeah,
pouch.
I didn't. Oh, I didn't give that
Forgot
to you.
I don't
about that.
think you gave
Yeah,
us
we
the
haven't even.
Also,
Mila's just had it on her.
just quick
on.
question:
Yes.
Is there my journal in his pouch?
No, there wasn't.
Great.
Great question. Did you? So with
beans.
Granger, hold on here.
I assume
you
we fully
50 gold
took
a while.
all of
Yeah.
his like clothes.
All right. So he had 32 pieces of gold. He
That is
had
not enough.
107 pieces of silver.
I will write these down.
Thank you.
He had 24 pieces of copper, and there was also a small blue gem. Maybe
Can I
a-
appraise it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's a sapphire. It's a fairly common sapphire. But go ahead and make your appraisal.
You
roll.
have a praise?
I do, because I work as a craftsman. So it is good to be able to 22 to be able to tell the value of things.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fairly common sapphire, but the size is decent. You
Okay.
would gauge this to be worth at least 50 gold.
Great.
Speaking of that nickname, do you happen to have like any, like just laying around? You don't have to make it like a mask or something,
I mean, I could
or like a hood.
I could whip something up.
That could be nice.
I have
Disguise.
several.
I think I grab Rhythm's hand and I put it in mine, and then I pull out this like nasty little
yeah,
like
what-
bob wig, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you also, but thus far it hasn't. The wig
It
has
didn't
fallen
fit
off.
properly.
It
I
didn't.
understand.
I
Both
know I've got a
times.
very large head, but I appreciate
How
the
hard can a
effort.
mask be?
I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, not very.
Give me a while and I can work on it. I don't think we should really be heading over to there until afternoon anyways. They're probably not terribly busy.
I also don't think we should leave very much at all because there might be people looking for some of us.
Yes,
Gave me
if
25
you,
gold.
I suppose, if you need help procuring food, I could go buy that for you
Spent some.
as a group,
not a
since you
bad
seem
idea.
to have
Don't remember.
problems in the low quarter.
Well, you also, I think I point to the newspaper and I'm like, well, not you.
Who could have done this?
True.
It
Probably it's
certainly
gonna be
couldn't
me.
have been me.
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
It is an interesting opinion,
For
right?
some young labor boy.
Thrice towards the moon and twice
Labor
towards the
boy.
sun. Do we think that is time?
I think it is some sort of measurement of
It
time.
explicitly
Either
mentions before that this moon cycle.
Well, it is the 6th.
And as Thomas
you
told
always
you,
get this face when we
I
riddle.
know. And as the player Thomas told you in a message before this session,
Yep.
John's puzzles are simultaneously very obvious and super complex at the same time. So we are definitely not looking the right way, but that's where we're at.
We're at least trying.
Yeah, you are.
My
You're doing great.
secondary opinion on those is that they could be movement instructions. Maybe inside of the Viper's Nest there are physical moons and suns depicted on walls. That seems a bit...
On the nose.
Yes. But also this note seems to be a location to meet,
Yes.
potentially a day to meet, and then how to get in, with a password included.
When to meet.
That's what it seems to me. That, or this moon cycle just means come sometime this month.
Maybe they changed
What?
the password at
I know
some
that a couple
point.
days ago it was at a 3/4.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
It was like the moon was waning 3/4.
Yeah, it was in a.
Yes.
Wayne State 3/4.
What
But
would we know what tonight
Waning
We had
means
two- we
toward
had-
a new moon, or
waning means headed toward the new moon. Yes, waxing means
mostly
headed toward the
dark.
full
I
moon.
have a brilliant idea.
But hold on, because you guys had there was an important conversation happening here. I want to make sure it's not missed.
Yeah.
That's as much of a DM hint as you'll ever get.
I think Dahlia just kind of looks at it and goes, maybe the password's only good for a certain amount of time, and somebody.
then I have a brilliant idea about that.
The fact that he had so just think about this logically.
He's kind of far off.
He's
from-
got a
Nobody
sheet. He
knows
got a
what, like-
sheet. Why does he have a note on his person? If this is a place that he goes in perpetuity, he would not be carrying that. So it is logical to presume that they change whatever this
Yeah.
this process is
And it will only last 3
once
nights and
every
2 days.
cycle
Yeah.
of the moon, right?
Yeah.
So now that's not telling you how to get in per se, but that is
Gosh darn it,
and
John.
there are multiple layers to that
Guys,
note.
I did
but,
it.
But yes, Cameron, you did.
Well,
yes.
Well, Mila, I
most
think
I've
you
ever
did have.
accomplished.
I think Mila was right on the way to get in. Is to
is?
get the password.
well, yes, I think we know the password.
What is the password?
No mouse.
Oh, well, you got it.
She said I was right.
Wow.
We're having breakthroughs all over here.
You know.
How did that feel, Daisy?
No,
Mila
stop
looks
it.
like she's been validated.
It's all right.
What? I'm just curious.
Thanks, Jadobi.
I do my part.
So
You did.
If we are to assume that this month's password is no mouse, we have still no idea
At least
what
for
3
the-
times towards the moon and twice towards the
well,
sun means.
this moon cycle for 3 nights and 2 days potentially the password is no mouse.
That is also a potential. 3 nights,
But
2
see,
days.
if I
Rereads
suppose
what
if-
he wrote to make sure it makes sense.
I'm so sorry, John.
It's just interesting because the moon cycle implies that this note will be good for the entirety of this moon cycle.
Well, maybe it's, this person's a little bit farther removed from this, like the Gilded
makes
Cage
sense.
is a normal establishment.
Well, that's,
There,
that's good.
right?
So just remember,
So,
there could be more than one thing being said.
Totally agree.
in
so
this, right?
yes, Gilded Cage, normal
This means
establishment, quote unquote. This place,
Far
rowdy
from
den
that.
of thieves. So, maybe they tell this person, hey, only come on this handful of days. And this password's good until then, so use this password then.
I don't hate it.
What is the
Is that anything?
I,
We're not
I
sure
feel like
how
I'm
often
going
he
like way too
maintains.
far out here. The serpent's bite. You said the viper's nest is behind it.
Now, it's actually deeper into the warrens of the dock quarter and slightly to the west. So it's about 5 minutes from the Serpent's Bite.
Do we know
Thrice
how well
towards the
involved
moon
this
and twice
individual
towards the dawn
was
be
with this group?
Which individual?
a specific
The
date.
Grizz.
Griswold?
Oh, Griswold. So clearly he.
Quite.
So you can trace it all the way back to Kiana's father, the dice that you
Yes,
found. He was in the Serpent's Bite. The Serpent's Bite, the
does make
women,
sense.
the contact that you had
He
there,
is involved.
connected to the guild. This is all
yeah,
part of
yeah.
a network, and this appears to be not necessarily the headquarters per se, but an epicenter of the violence, the gambling, and the debt.
I imagine he's one of a number of creditors that
found
love
this
to spend
message.
the money they make
Well, what about this?
gambling it away.
Do they gamble every night?
Oh, I would have to imagine.
Or is it just on certain nights? So as not to get caught.
Or if there are bigger nights than others,
Yes.
where, these nights.
Or it could be a specific time of day. Thrice towards the moon could be
I was
3
thinking of
hours
that.
after the moon has started to rise. I don't know.
Till twice towards the
And
sun.
twice towards the dawn.
Are we getting off track?
I think we're getting off track.
We might be.
That's can
Yeah. Okay.
I make an insight check on the DM? Motive on.
No, you guys. Yeah, you're. That's fine. All right. So what? Now that you've this is like the bridge in book 2 of Greyhawk Awakening. Now that we've spent 30 minutes discussing this, what does the party do?
I think we should go at least scout it.
Yeah.
Observe.
Well, why don't you give me some time to prepare
What
some
if
sort of
I-
a face covering for Dahlia?
I can sneak. Hold on. Just listen to this. Listen to this. I've been honing my sneaky skills. I hide in the shadows.
The shadows.
Yes, that word
So
has a T.
what if
It does.
I kind of hide in the shadows as somebody tries to come in and make sure we've got the right information?
Is there a way? Is there a place? You know where this is in the low court. Is
I
there
do.
a place that we could watch the entrance to see how somebody might
The edges of the
actually
river.
gain?
It's
No,
on.
there are buildings around. Now, you do know it would be reasonable to assume that there are nefarious sorts that surround these places, but there are buildings adjacent, and
Rooftops.
I was gonna say, I think
Rooftops would be a
Dahlia's
good
flashing
idea.
back to when they tried to scout out Dauber, in which they just stood in an alley.
she
for
did
a
say she was
while.
going to get her hand signals better, didn't she?
Yeah,
and then has yet to provide any way of doing it.
Exactly.
but I think that idea of even if we are inconspicuously watching, as far as we deem it, these people are probably going to be pretty wary of anyone, especially
Yes, new
with
people.
the Taps newspaper, the news of the day that things are going to be cracked down on.
But
so
as was stated previously, you have gained a bit of notoriety.
maybe to some people.
Maybe to the right people.
Dahlia winces at that and is like,
It is un-
David saying that to me feels crazy.
It's unfortunate, but notoriety carries, and you should use it to your benefit.
Okay.
I'm saying simply, walk up. We have dice that are apparently a key to entrance. We have the password to get in.
I will say the last
think we
time
should
I
watch
used the
things
dice for
first.
something, it became very clear that I was not supposed to be the person that
Were you
had them.
currently dressed up as a young, feeble boy?
Not he was quite strong. He was a laborer. He worked for
How
me,
strong?
David.
David, what about this? Because a woman going up by herself, that's not going to look right.
Well, okay. Yes, go on.
Well, she needs a companion, correct?
So DM's tip here, if you're ever wondering how to go ahead and fill out a session and make sure that just give your players a difficult puzzle and watch them just wander around for an hour.
Yeah.
It's fun though.
No, it is
So-
fun. You guys are doing great. It's great.
What if I got disguised?
Why do you have to be the man? There's two gentlemen
Let
standing
her
here.
dress up. She
you
wants to
seen
wear
yourself?
pants.
What do you mean? You are
What do you mean by
What,
that?
have you seen? No. Have you seen yourself?
I have, and I'm pretty good at
I think she said she's twice the. I think she said she's twice the man clicking.
No. Killing is not what we want you doing in there.
David, sweetie. You. I don't
I'm going
think
to
you're
set that one
very
aside.
dangerous, and you accidentally
no.
got somebody in the butt, and it.
Daisy.
I mean, it was an accidental
Daisy,
kill,
the-
you must admit.
The goal is not to be dangerous if you're going in.
Oh, but if it gets dangerous, you need
Then
the
we
right
should.
people.
Then we should all be in there.
No, we shouldn't.
And
It
you
should.
should leave
I,
if it gets dangerous.
we all need to be there together.
At least close.
They need to
Yes.
be close. But I think if we all go in as a group, it's like a little bit of a.
I think if you all came there as people who were looking to
All of a sudden, 4 new people, 5 new people show up. That is not a good thing.
well, if you're there with me to gamble on me,
But we are kind of getting known in the city.
What about this? If we want 2 people with notoriety to go up, I could ask Click if he wants to go along with. If you want a gentleman to go along with the lady.
I feel like it would be.
Ruin my time to disguise.
Not to
From
say
what
that
I
he might be
understand-
willing, but
Yes, I just thought it might be strange for him to endorse a fighter in this way.
well, he could want to fight.
I
mean,
suppose.
You
yeah.
might. That's actually a good
Yeah.
idea.
Click's got a reputation.
Well, and if 3 of you came.
You said ask Click. Do you know him?
We know him.
He has made acquaintances with me a couple of times. He protects businesses in the low quarter especially, as
I
he
see.
sees they benefit to the people.
A fine fellow, I see.
Wrote a whole
The
song about him and
serpent
everything.
slithers. What is the serpent in this?
Me.
We don't know. let's not dribble drabble over this too long.
But I feel we
Wait,
need
wait,
to
wait,
dribble
wait, wait,
drabble
wait.
over this. This is the clue we have.
We
Can I see
have
those-
to find out who the
Can I see those
serpent
two
is.
dice?
We don't know
Yes, of
who the serpent is.
John, these 2 dice, do they have
The
symbols on
vertebrae
them?
dice.
Yeah, so as I described, they're vertebrae from a snake, clearly carved, and where each of the what?
Just looking at the chat, Larry Kingdra.
Natasha's old group had a color puzzle. They forgot.
Oh no.
Oh, that's awful.
That's so sweet.
I am partially mildly colorblind. Red, green, I struggle with sometimes. So
More colors.
I don't think where the typical what do you call it, jots? Is that what they call them? The dots? What?
Sure. Is that really what they're called?
No, there's a name for them.
I know there's a name for them. Pips?
Pips. That's it. Thank you. The pips, where the pips
we go.
instead they all look like, so it's like fangs.
Fangs.
So you see a fang,
Cool.
1 fang, 2 fangs, 6 fangs on the dice carved in them.
I was hoping the one
Would be an
might have
eye.
a sun and a moon.
Oh, that would be cool.
No
This
such luck.
moon's cycle. The serpent, which I'm guessing
Okay.
is typically the person that visits,
Yes, someone holding serpent's bite.
So what
dice.
is the plan and what are we doing?
slithers thrice towards the moon and twice towards the dawn.
There's also potential that if we wanted to look a little less suspicious, but all be there together, some of you come with me, say, I want to bet on this one if we're fighting, and then some of us go with Click, if he can make it.
If you can make it.
And I could just come to distract. You know,
Well, you could be there. You could throw in some gold for me.
I could.
You know?
I got
I
a
do
little
enjoy
nightshade
games of
I could dip
chance.
into some drinks.
You don't have to
I'm
do that immediately.
Not immediately, but you never know. When I just might. Oh, and
I would love to know when you do that. Please tell us when you do that. Please don't just do that.
Can we go observe?
Yes, she has
I want to
1
see
dose
the
of
type of
nightshade left.
people.
That's correct.
And I think if we
Yes,
walk
so-
up and people say, "What are you doing? Why are you standing here?" we can just be like, "I'm nervous about my
There is
fight."
plenty of business to do in the dock districts. Make yourselves look busy.
We could go fishing.
I still think it might be prudent to observe for a bit to see how others are entering the establishment before we try to do so
Yeah,
ourselves.
we could get a little boat. And
Now, I am not the stealthiest fellow,
I
unfortunately.
am.
I'm also
Me
not
neither.
the stealthiest fellow.
I can be quiet when I like to.
Hello.
So perhaps that should be how we split the groups then? One group on observation to start, the other to sort of hang around, and then afterwards we can meet back up, talk about how to enter, do it.
Yeah,
Good?
let's go
Works
see
for
if you could find our
Do I
guy.
have to take off my armor?
No.
No.
Okay.
Well,
No, I guarantee.
Absolutely not.
I guarantee people in there will be armor. You should leave it on.
Okay. As long as I will not stand out.
If you give me a moment, I can come up with a hood covering for you if you would like it.
Thank you.
Unless you're wanting to go.
I love that.
Okay.
I think it's the
we're going to be
gestures
doing
to like this like wave
later
of
in the
red
day as
hair.
well.
I believe we should wait until
Yes.
slightly later in the day. Morning
Good,
is a
that
bit.
will give me time to go change.
And you already know, David. You don't approach this place during the day.
No.
Yeah. It's an
Yeah, there's
establishment
absolutely a
only
reason.
of the night.
Yep. I'm going to go head to my desk.
Right?
And
You need any help, boss? I work here, remember? Do I get an employee discount?
Actually, that's a very good point. Could you put a pot on?
Kettle?
Water.
Water? What do you want?
Pot.
Can do.
It's a big one by the fire.
Lift it up.
And
Hold it.
Don't hold it over the fire.
Bad idea.
You want me to?
Go outside, fill it with water, put it over the fire, and leave it.
Got it. Me go outside. Great. I start walking towards the door, uncover and just.
There's
could you go with
trough
her?
outside.
And
It's
then-
fine, just right out the door. I don't have a tap in my house.
just making sure
Don't
she's
have
being
running
enough.
water.
David,
Yes.
I if we have a little time before we get to this evening, I
believe
would like
we do.
to.
Seems like we have a number of hours.
And she'll produce a letter. Deliver this to the docks. Would you mind showing me where? I have yet to send a letter here, and I figured you, of all people, would know best where.
This is actually a question I wanted to ask you, John. Where would I have gone to get letters sent? Where is the nearest courier? Like, could I go to the Salty Dog and just leave it with
Yeah, no. So here in Altamira, the couriers typically are in around official buildings. There is a small office of taxation that is in the dock quarters and also in the low quarter, where you can take things like
To be sent.
correspondences and pay to have them sent.
I know exactly where to take it.
All right, then. I'm ready whenever.
Okay, I'm going to take a small amount of time to put this mask together, and then Daisy, you can stay here and take care of Dahlia while we head out.
I will be back in several hours. I will look different. Goodbye.
What's the vibe? What are you going for?
Well, you'll have to wait and see, won't you?
Will you bring those things that you can put in the...
I thought you still had them. I never got them back from you.
Wait, here. I roll my eyes into the back of my head, and then they emerge. I slept with them in. I didn't know any
No,
better.
they're in and out. Listen, the solution
No wonder
helps,
you look
but
so
it can't
tired.
be good for your eyes.
I imagine in the fight you blink them out. They're gone.
Probably. They're no more. I'm so sorry. I could pay you. I could
Consider it
Compensate.
not a problem.
If you could also bring back some maybe change of garb for these two lovely ladies, that might not be a bad idea. Something practical, but maybe not equestrian.
Yes, I will try to keep it to
Like tough.
low quarter
like think-
chic,
Yeah.
as it were.
Yeah.
And perhaps we can
Don't know
stop.
why it can't be horse related, but
Well,
You don't have to worry about that.
Well,
such fine.
Do you still have the riding crop?
it was just an insane idea I had, and
And she did go through with it.
I did. And
I would love to hear this story one day.
one day, you know, I get crazy ideas sometimes.
Oh, I know it.
Don't we know?
I know it.
Oh,
You're
very
so
good.
All right. Let's scatter.
scatter.
Okay.
Little rat sounds.
All right.
Oh,
So me and Daisy are staying here.
All right. You're going
I'm going to get changed and do other stuff
All right,
just for
and
a
the
few
two of you are
hours.
going to mail the postage.
We're going to mail some postage.
Okay, all right. So let's break these things up into those parts. Also, timing-wise, is anyone not okay if we go a few minutes past 4 today, maybe to 4:30 or so?
I know perhaps Rory might not be.
Is he streaming today? I thought they weren't streaming today. They are streaming
From
today?
what I saw,
Rory, are you streaming today? Are they streaming today, Amanda?
the last
yes,
announcement
I
I saw.
believe they
I
are.
missed that. So they went back to back then.
Yeah, I think because of 4th of July, or not 4th of July,
Oh.
a recent thing. I do think.
They
Yeah,
are
looks like
okay.
there was an announcement.
We at
All
least
right.
have still a little bit of time.
Yeah,
though.
hey, I know what's going on my own channel. That's great.
We'll be able
Yeah,
to
we got
get
it. We got a little bit. All right,
outside
so you're going to go get changed, and everyone's going to come back here in the evening hour. Is that the plan? That
is
the
plan.
All right. So then let's take each of these separately. So you by yourself, you can make a roll. You can just tell me
Add all
what
your
it is.
stuff.
Level of success.
You got
do
pluses.
The inspiration.
And well, actually, I'm sorry. No, you can take a 20 on this because you got hours.
then I'll
to
say.
do this.
He's very well done.
Yeah. So
Don't mind if I do.
yeah.
Yeah, don't make me roll for it, John.
We have a shirt like that. The two of you, as you're walking, anything being discussed as
Oh, I'm nearly certain.
Do you
so.
want to do us first?
I think that would be easier.
Why don't we
chance
do
to
that
talk
as I
about it.
consume the
promise
remainder
it
of my
won't be
stream
long.
today? All right,
Okay.
go ahead.
That's
Yes.
gonna be like
I
In
think-
moments, the three of them are all gone, leaving you and Daisy as she sips at the remnants of her honeysuckle tea, swirling leaves around the bottom of the cup.
I think Dahlia just kind of starts to clean up this place and just get things back to the way that they were. I think she goes downstairs. She's kind of stitching back the punching bag and
Okay.
goes outside and finds some dirt or whatever and fills in like what's been lost if she can, and kind of taking care of that, sweeping any ash, any parasite that she can see. If the bodies are still around, she'll squash those too.
Okay.
Kind of sweeping.
Yeah,
that.
you see no sign. I mean, the fire
Got
thoroughly
everything.
burned
Yeah.
everything. So
So
okay.
sweep those ashes into the water and just kind of get that space looking back to what it should.
Okay. As you're doing this downstairs, no issue with that. No rolls need to be made.
roll for cleaning?
Yeah. Daisy Bell, anything you're doing?
Well, I guess just helping. I don't know. Just
Okay, you can enjoy tea and meditate.
I think
Right.
Dahlia, like, and as this has always been, has just enjoyed like Daisy's company, and just like any time where they just get to hang out. Like it's, I don't think they necessarily have to talk a ton. Of like, I think Dahlia sees that there's like. I know Daisy's been some places, and I don't know if she wants to talk about them all the time.
Oh,
She's
I
a
know
little
what I
evasive
want.
with
Okay,
questions.
so we
but-
all there.
Yes.
Okay. Dahlia. I'm running out of nightshade. Mm-hmm. And I know Fauna is being stingy.
Uh-huh.
With, I don't know why. Like, why does it bother her?
I think because she wasn't born yesterday and knows that you're using it to hurt people.
But it shouldn't be any of her business.
Well,
What I
it's
do
her
with it.
business.
It literally is service.
Here's
So,
my suggestion.
How do I get more?
I think I would take out. Do you have like? Is it flour or is it like extract that you have?
It's I make it into like
Yeah.
a liquid.
I
like
think I would-
that I dip my stuff into.
I think I'd take out whatever remaining like flour you have, and I'd be like, well, let's work on growing your own supply.
Oh, my goodness, you are an angel. How I did not even know. I'm so glad I said something. It's been eating at me, and I was like, I'm gonna steal from her, but I can't steal from Fauna.
If you steal from her, I will.
But I
fight
would have
you.
left money. I would have left. It was kind of like a weird steal, leave money thing. But I know she knew
Have
it
you
was
done that
me.
before?
Mandate in
Anyway,
the chat.
Fauna would be onto me. You know, she would know I was the one stealing. Then it would cause tension. We don't
Oh.
need that kind of thing. You know,
Yeah, don't
She
steal.
would know it's me.
Let's work on getting you growing some. I think.
Yeah,
I
so,
think
so to be
that's a-
clear, what Fauna has been giving you is already the extracted liquid. She's
Oh, it is?
not giving you the flowers or the seeds.
Oh, well, that is a problem. Can we get some of that?
Maybe if you buy it. I'm not.
I don't know if
Listen,
she'll sell me. Oh, she doesn't know if I know how to make it. Maybe I'll just tell her it's for decoration. Okay.
Because that'll work.
Because you've tried that ruse before.
Last time it was for ladies'
Perfume.
time and perfume,
Yeah, but if I
and
keep
now
the
it's
whole
for
thing,
decoration.
Yeah.
If I keep the whole thing, I don't want it extracted.
Right.
I think Dahlia is just kind of like offering, hey, if you can get seeds, I can help you grow. I don't know a ton about plants, but I happen to have just a weird green thumb.
Okay, well, we are going to use that tactic, and I'm going to make my own and have just an abundant supply. This is wonderful. This has made my day. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad. And I go back to like restitching and kind of rehanging up the punching bag, trying to scrub out the blood stains. But yeah.
I help, and I'm whistling because I'm so happy.
So the children love the nightshade.
The children love the nightshade. All right, so as you have this conversation, you guys finish cleaning up. Even you, Daisy Bell, would have to recognize the likelihood of failure in your tricking Fauna with decorative nightshade after she already was wise to what you were doing otherwise.
Okay, but then, okay, if that doesn't work, is it grown somewhere? Like in the forest? You've been in the forest.
Have been. Now, would I have any idea of?
Yes, there are different types of nightshade. You know the type that is
I need
being
the deadly.
distilled that she's using is more typical to arid regions, rocky areas, leeward sides shaded from sun. These are the most potent forms of nightshade.
Where did you? I think I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about where she's coming from and all that, and just. You are so keen on this specific thing. There's other poisons. Why do you want this one so bad?
Oh, well, you're gonna think I'm real funny, but
I already think you're very funny.
you know, it's just a simple. It comes from a flower, and it goes good with a ninja. It's a nightshade ninja. I just like how it flows.
Can I make a sense
Please
motive
do.
check?
Yeah. Please do.
Hold on. Sorry, guys. I know you want to talk, but I have questions now. I'm going as fast as
Take
I
your
can.
time.
Oh, God.
We'll come to you, Mila and David, in just a moment.
Sounds
Thank you, all you Mad Chatter. You guys have been awesome today. The chat's been great.
That's an
Thank you so
11.
much. Yeah, so with an 11, you sense that while she's giving that, you don't know what it is, but as she gives that dismissive response, you see the sort of up and left look that associates a recollection of some kind. That she's recalling something as she gives this dismissive answer.
You know you can, like, tell me about stuff, right? You don't have to... I'm not...
Oh, of course I do. I can tell you all kinds of stuff that I want to tell you.
I think, like, you would actually see that, like, Dahlia kind of looks, like, crestfallen. Like, of just, like, okay. I mean, I just want you to know, like, you've been through a lot in the mountains. I know it's been
Yes.
7 years. I know that you haven't seen us in a while, but...
Yes. It's been a while.
And I know that you've obviously learned a very special set of skills during that time.
Yes, I have.
And whenever you want to talk about any of that, you can. And I want to hear it. I want to hear about...
Well, I'm glad you're here for me. And when I feel... Well, you know, this has been such a lovely time. Is there anything else that we can clean or get ready? I think I see a dirty spot.
I throw
over
my
there.
arm around like your neck and I pull you into my armpit and I just start giving you
The hair.
You are such a punk. Like, I'm just like,
What's the hair? What's
no.
the hair?
And then I do because I'm like, what if I'm stabbing you in the skull right now? I pull away and I think I like push you off and I'm just like, no, for real. The offer always stands.
Oh, and I push you back and I'm like, okay. You're so silly.
You pushed me. I think I got like over exaggerated. Like, my arm.
Oh,
That's my
come
fighting
now.
arm. I need that for later.
Okay. Oh.
And then
Bravo. Nicely done, the two of you. That was
Precious.
fun. All right, see if you can match that, Mila and David. As you
we have
walk,
time for that.
as you walk beneath that aforementioned lemon drop sun, blue sky, white snow reflecting, it's brilliant out here. People moving back and forth, and yet it is one of those times where there is something hanging between the two of you so palpably, it's as though everyone else passes by without being aware of you, as though they are players in a scene, and the two of you are locked in as you walk in step together toward the docks.
Including, if you'll allow it, physically. David will put his arm out. Of
course.
And will hold on to your hand as they walk,
Which
guiding
is
you through
gloved,
the streets.
of course, with the usual armaments.
the nice
gloves
ones.
that
The
he
nice
made.
ones.
Yes.
Yes, with a nice. If anyone missed it in the first session, it has a rat head on it with like rose vines growing around and throughout the etched into the leather. Beautiful, beautiful day, isn't it?
I have not seen the sun in what feels like days. It is gorgeous.
Yes, indeed.
How do you feel?
Tired.
That's fair. It was a long day yesterday for Click.
I'm certain it was.
How do you feel about having to leave Altamira?
I don't like
Needing-
leaving my shop.
Too.
I understand it's a need. I came from the bottom of the barrel here in Altamira, and I have pulled myself up by my bootstraps and currently, partially, own a business.
Yes, it's very impressive.
Really, Rashid owns it, but he lets me stay there, and I pay him the rent,
And you run it.
and I run it. I have my own bed.
Well,
Wow.
did.
It's fine. I'm more than willing to give it out. But I'm not excited to leave. But I am excited to leave.
I understand.
I have never seen anything outside of the walls of this city.
God, it is beautiful.
I've seen the edges of the forest, and that trip we made out not long ago. I
Yes.
remember a little bit of it, and seems like it's going to be a bit dangerous of a trek.
Yes. It normally is. The wilderness is not kind.
But it's a wide world, and I am thrilled to see it.
I'm excited for you too. Altamira is its own, but there are beauties that I cannot describe.
I look forward to seeing them. Dahlia seems to have a number of stories.
Yes, she knows much more about these woods than I, but I'm excited for you to see them.
And thank you.
Yes.
I'm excited for you to show me Kemi.
Yes.
And
maybe. If that's where we're headed, which that would be news to me, but
I think if we're going to head anywhere, north makes most sense. It's where we heard orc incursions were occurring. It's where we heard
true.
that these wagons were being attacked. And if that's what we want to secure and learn about, that is where we should go.
how do you feel about visiting some of Dahlia's family? Not the mother kind. The dryads.
How deep in the forest would we have to go off the road?
Probably quite deep.
That frightens me. From the stories I have heard of the Twilight Wood.
Twilight Wood is frightening, but... And we can talk about this more with Dahlia.
Of course.
I've only mentioned it minorly
What do you
to
think
her.
about that?
To-
Would you like to see her
Yes.
family?
Yes, I would love to. I mean, I've seen Altamira. I've seen where you have stayed these past 7 years.
It's a beautiful city.
I wish we could stay, but due to unfortunate events,
Things are moving against us.
yes. And we will be back.
I
but
hope it's the same when we come back, or very similar.
yes. She definitely seems to get quite nervous at that. Takes a bit of a shaky breath. You said once that if I had something on my mind, that you would be more than willing to listen.
I am always near to my dearest friend.
There is something that has been bothering me. I think at this moment she's gonna kind of glance around and find an alleyway that is empty
Okay.
and kind of drag them into it.
You do notice when you said that something was bothering you, his demeanor changes. Like he's like sad that something's hurting you.
Yeah, so you see a couple of 3-story brick buildings with wrought iron terraces in states of disrepair so common here to the low quarters, but those narrow alleyways, shadows behind them, and just deftly you kind of pull Click aside. The two of you stand in the shadows, inches apart from one another. Finley sits on your shoulder. You feel just tenseness from him.
Does this require secrecy?
Yes.
Well, then tell me.
I did not know that Click existed. I'm happy to now.
I thought you were one of his friends.
I did not know that you and he were different. Or separate.
We have always been different. I don't catch your meaning.
I was not aware
Of.
of Click. That separation. I've written to you for these past 7 years. And only you. And
have.
that has been lovely. Your letters have gotten me through so much. But I thought that I knew you.
Would you have liked to have written to Click? I could have gotten you in contact with him.
I think so.
Well, he's here now, and you're here with him.
But I want to know why. Were you not aware that I did not know?
Of what? That Click is a secret person who likes to keep his secrets secret.
That you two are one and the same, in a sense. You share the same body. Maybe not the same mind at times.
David pauses and stares at the floor for a second and looks back up at you. You've been reading too many books, my friend. What do you mean?
Sense motive. What
What, is that what you want to do?
That's
Do you want
a
to sense motive, or
very
do you,
different
or do you
demeanor.
want to do something different?
what does that mean? What
Roll that dice.
Roll that
does he truly like? Not 20.
Nat 20.
No, 10
30.
plus 10, 20.
That was not a front to push off a thing. This is genuine confusion you are seeing on his face.
I apologize
I have
if this is.
spoken to Click before, never seen his face. He is a friend who I honor. And in that secrecy, I take care of his secrets. I would never once want to see his face because that would give up who he is and would threaten my life. He has taught me things, ways to survive in the city. He even taught me a little song if I needed to find him. I could sing it. And he'd show up. And he has. He's very helpful. And he has defended me many times, but I am not him as much as I wish to be.
What is your relationship with each other?
Our relationship is with the three of you. We are both friends with the rats, and thus those are
Not
our
with
ties.
us, between you two.
That's about it. He defends me, and I give him information as I come across it in my gossip.
How did that start?
Persist, Mila, persist. That's the rat.
Yes.
No, I was telling the audience I knew you.
I can't exactly remember the first time we spoke, but I believe it was at the Salty Dog. Yes. And he, I think I heard him whisper through a wall to me. Told me to listen in on a specific conversation. It's good advice because I learned a lot. Learned I liked gossip that day a lot more too.
Oh.
Why do you ask? Are you asking for a timeline? I think it was about
3 years ago?
years ago? Why would you know that?
Your letters became less frequent. I thought that it might have been because business had started up. That was my assumption, but
You can't know that.
that this occurred 3 years ago?
Yes, I'm sorry that my letters became more infrequent. I got busy.
That is not me blaming you by any means. Your letters, no matter how varied they came in their time, I needed. They're very important to me. You are very important to me.
You're very important to me too.
I want to understand.
What do you need to understand?
You see two beady, dark eyes staring out from beneath the hair.
I give him a little stare back.
I did not trust Clegg. I did not know he existed, and was worried about his influence. So I read something that perhaps I should not have, and gained more questions. I've spoken to him about this. I've confronted him, and he gave me some answers, but I thought it might be best I talk to you.
What is it you speak of?
This might bring up bad memories. And if you feel unready to discuss them with me, by all means say it and I will stop.
You cannot stop.
I'm gonna take his hands with both of mine. What happened during those 3 years?
The 3 years between now and then.
Yes. What happened between you and Click? He says he owes you a debt. He feels that way, at least. He's done much for you. He cares for you immensely. That is
He says
obvious.
that about everyone in the low quarter.
It is true about you. I'm sure it's true about them as well, but for you it is different.
You can obviously tell that David is thinking about what he wants to tell you. I wrote to you as instantly as I could every time. And I had many stories that I told you, all of them true. But there is one that I omitted. I am unsure how this relates at all to Click. Something happened. He prepares himself to say something, and there's obviously a great weight on him.
Her hands are gently gliding back and forth on your knuckles.
I met someone. Rashid had many errands for me to run. And one of those involved going to the market every week. Usual business. Lots of faces. And one day one stood out. And she was lovely. If only you knew her, I'm certain you would have liked her. Reminds me very much of you. But it wasn't meant to be. She had to leave. She left south, Merriwell.
Knowing the answer, Mila asks why.
Her father died. And she was framed for his murder. And I can see why. But it was not her.
Do you know who it was?
It was me. Mila, I've meant to write to you about this so many times. That day, 7 years ago, I was the one who was lifted by that creature. I believe it left something in me. Something dark. Something I cannot control. Something that takes over in the night. I wake up more tired than I can explain. I wake up with bloodied hands. And that day in the market, when I saw her face bruised, I think something awoke in me. I think I killed Clovis Adney.
Say that name again.
Clovis Adney.
How'd you spell the last name?
A-D-N-E-T.
E-T. Thank you.
He looks you dead in the eyes and says, I'm so sorry I didn't tell you.
You do not have to apologize to me. And she's gonna, similar to the hug in which she put Click in last night, just surround you. Thank you.
I'm so afraid of myself. I'm sorry that I have put you in danger.
No. No. There's nothing for you to be sorry about.
I remember shooting Daisy in the woods. That's all I remember. I remember flashes, waking up with a bolt near my head, and then shooting her. I'm not safe.
It's
David,
not safe.
this is not your fault. She's gonna take your hand, put
I
one
wish I had your faith.
on the side of your face, on your cheek. If I tell you something, will you believe me?
Yes. You're my dearest friend.
You and Click are one. There is a split. There is some sort of... You do not seem to recall this. There's some sort of memory loss that occurs between you and he. I don't know what it is he tells you. But some of those things are not your doing,
No.
David.
No. Click is a good man. An honorable hero. He would...
The thing about heroes is that sometimes they can disappoint. If you put them on such a high pedestal, he is good.
No, he has never disappointed me. He taught me how to protect myself. And he'll pull out a knife from his back and twist it and flip it and hold it by the blade.
And it looks like Click.
I mean, kind of. In the body, sure, but... He taught me many things. He taught me to make this, and he'll take his jacket and turn it inside out and show you that it's armored. As if it's a surprise to you. He told me to defend myself in this city because of exactly what happened at the Pensive Pages that day and Marcus.
And I'm glad that he did. But my statement still stands.
If that is true, that means that Click killed Clovis?
And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Somebody just said Jesus. I lost my mind.
Woo! Oh, what a session! What a session! I mean, from Jilly at the beginning all the way through to end with this. Absolutely fantastic.
I need a cigarette.
That was
I don't smoke.
so good. Thank you. All right. So
What the heck, Tommy?
thank you, Boba Kills. We never
Oh
want to
my
disappoint.
God. We're gonna be in that driveway for hours. Yeah,
That's okay. I
be
don't have anything this
prepared,
afternoon.
John.
All right. So wow, so good, so
I have to
good.
watch that again.
All right. So
Yeah,
I'm going to go
you
ahead
better, 'cause
and
your face was an adventure.
we're going to go. We're going to do a poll. We're not going to do a giveaway today. We got to do the poll quickly.
I think I'm good on MVP.
Should we just forego the poll
we just give it
and
to him?
MVP goes to
come
Thomas?
on.
Yeah,
Everybody
please
in the
let
chat, if you think Click should be MVP, I'm gonna turn on the emotes.
Yes, he should.
And give me a what are you doing? If you're watching right now and you haven't followed, you're a follower, you haven't subbed, you're a sub, you haven't subscribed or resubbed rather, and your sub's expired, or you don't think Click should be MVP, we have one question for you. What are you doing?
Except for the last part.
Disagree.
Click is the MVP. No, actually, well, it's Ram. Ram, you killed it today. You stole the
Yeah,
show.
I agree.
The whole
As
hour I was
always.
here.
I
it was
agree. I
great.
agree. I agree.
Yeah, and it's like as a DM, I have so much more that I was going to do today, but it was
Yep.
awesome. I
There's
love
so
how
much
this.
RP
There was
to
so
get
much
through.
roleplay.
Killed so much
glad.
more
Oh,
role
man.
play.
And now we get another week with this, which is
Yes,
great because we
another
need
week
it.
to figure that out because you guys got closer today, which is good.
Okay, so
Sir
that's
John.
comforting.
Yes. I want to say thank you everyone for watching. Stay tuned. Don't change that dial. As soon as we're done, Fall of Red Dawn, fantastic crew.
They're in a
Not-
great spot too.
Yes,
There's
yes,
some
and they're
interesting
so
stuff
so
happening.
good now. They have both Taylor and Katie, so 2 new players, and they are so much better than Thomas Bonar. Tom stinks compared to them, and so I'm teasing Thomas. So join that. They're going to be live as soon as we're done. Thank you for being with us today on behalf of the entire Blue Box crew.
Big love.
Big love to all of you.
Great session.
No Tuesday stream for GHA, but we'll see you
Have a hot
Wednesday
dog.
for
Go enjoy
LMA.
some fireworks.
This crew will be back next Sunday in
Yes, we
cosplay.
will.
And you'll see Ramshackle cosplay for the first time.
Yay!
Love you all. Blue
version?
Box signing out. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you. All the plus ones will carry over. All
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
saved for next
All right.
time. We'll